Paul Horning with us again this week. Last week, an impressive 21-17 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Paul, are these guys for real or not?
Well, I sure hope so, and I think everybody in Wisconsin hopes so, Ken. You more than I would know the feeling that the fans have in Wisconsin this week. I just hope it lasts. I think Bart's got a much better football team than I've seen the last 3 or 4 years. The linebackers are back, and I think that's the biggest plus that I saw. Lynn Dickey looked outstanding against a good Dallas defense last week. Well, everybody played well. This week, you're going against a team that's got a lot of pride. They're the world champions. They're going through a lot of turmoil now about moving down to Los Angeles. Al Davis, we hope to have on at halftime and talk a little about that. But this is a great football team, and they've got an interesting quarterback situation. Pastorini wants to play. I think you'll see him tonight. Plunkett probably will start, as will he will start during the regular season. But I don't think that Plunkett can have the year he had last year. I just don't think he's that good.
A lot of questions to be answered for the Raiders. And as far as the Packer quarterback situation is concerned, here's the way it's going to go. Lynn Dickey will start, but will probably be relieved before the end of the first half by David Whitehurst. And we do expect to see #1 draft choice Rich Campbell sometime in the second half. Joining us on the telecast tonight is Joe Schmidt down on the sidelines. We have had some intermittent rain, so Joe, what's the field like down there?
Well, Ken, it's been raining for the last couple of days here in Milwaukee, but the field is in good playing condition. They had the tarps on the field until about an hour ago. They took the tarps off. The field is dry. Of course, we have the baseball diamond here, the infield, but the field is in good playing condition. It should be a good ball game. I'll be on the sidelines with some insights the rest of the ball game. Back up to the booth.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Paul?
That's not the Joe Schmidt who used to play middle linebacker. Is that his son or something?
It's got to be a smaller version, I'm sure. But Joe will be down there.
I hope not.
Keeping us up to date. We'll be back with the kickoff and the lineups. It's the Packers and the Raiders coming up.
I want to continue that winning that started last week in the preseason. You know, you hear it said so often, Ken, about winning is contagious. It becomes a good habit. And if Bart can win 3 or 4 preseason games heading into the season, that's going to be a big plus. Looking at their schedule this year, they've got a very, very good schedule for the Green Bay Packers. There you see some of the Oakland Raiders warming up over on the side. Both the benches, are, of course, are on the same side of the field here at County Stadium. There's a look at the Packers. But their schedule, I think, favors Green Bay. If they don't have too many injuries, they should get through it. I think in pretty good shape. We'll wait and give you our guess about how the season will go at the end of this preseason.
The Packers and the Raiders have met twice before in preseason play, but not since 1971. Each team has won 1 game in preseason. During the regular season, the Packers have never beaten the Oakland Raiders. They are 3-0. There's Coach Tom Flores in the
all in
dark
black.
right there.
Yeah, he's all in black, the black pants and the black jacket. He was the very quiet assistant head coach here. All of a sudden, he was thrust into the spotlight. A lot of people said he didn't have the discipline to be a head coach. But I tell you one thing, when you got players like this, all you have to do is set them out there and let them go after the opponent. That's exactly what he did. They respect Tom Flores, and he turned it into a Super Bowl team.
The Oakland Raiders have this reputation of taking players that are washed up, like number 72 we caught a glimpse of there, John Matuzak.
He's a Milwaukee boy, and he's very anxious about playing tonight. It's the first time he's played back here.
They take these players whose careers are supposedly over, and they turn into superstars. What is it in Oakland out there?
I tell you, I don't know what it is. Where's one great one? Art Shell and, of course, Gene Upshaw, the guards. They've been playing the left side for about 37 years for Oakland. They do it quite well. There's Pastorini. We're going to see some of him tonight. He's still got the great strong arm. I got to know Pastorini in the offseason, Ken, a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about his sight coming into this year. There he is, number 7.
What an injury-riddled career he's had, and what a controversial career he has had. And we'll get into that a little bit.
Well, he's a very strong athlete. He's a good athlete, and he's made a lot of mental mistakes on and off the field. And I think this year he's trying to correct that. He honestly is trying to become a complete football player. I don't think he ever was. He had so much potential talent. You know, sometimes quarterbacks get tired of hearing that word potential about their ability. I think absolutely it was, that's exactly what happened to Pastorini.
And just before the kickoff, let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
I think the thing we got to watch out for in this game, Ken, is the loss of Mike Jolly. Now, Jolly's out as the Packers starting free safety. Mark Murphy will be in his spot. But Jolly was also instrumental on the Packers specialty team, and we might be noticing that right from the very start in the kickoff. Back up to Ken.
Roddy Savage will be doing the place kicking for the Packers in the first half, and then we will see Jan Stenerud place kicking in the second half. The punting duties will be split between Ray Stakowitz and Frank Garcia. Number 80 is Malcolm Barnwell, who will be one of the kickoff return men for the Raiders. The other one will be number 48, Kenny Hill. And there's Roddy Savage, who's a Michigan native. And he and Don Sweet are the only place kickers in the way of Jan Stenerud in making the roster. And we're underway, the annual Shrine Game for Milwaukee County Stadium. Barnwell on the goal line. And the place kicker, Savage, had to make the tackle on the 38-yard line, and had he gotten by Savage, it was 6 points.
That's Malcolm Barnwell. He's a rookie from Virginia Union. He caught a couple of big bombs last week. Here it is again, and they were called back. Mark Wilson, here's Barnwell, 1 yard deep in the end zone. He's got the great speed, of course. Makes a nice cut here. He can run with the football after he catches it. He's going to be a welcome addition to the offense for Oakland this year.
So for the Oakland Raiders on offense, the quarterback is Jim Plunkett. The running backs are Derek Jensen and Kenny King. The wide receivers, Bob Chandler and Cliff Branch. The tight end, Raymond Chester. 1st and 10 on the 38. Kenny King. Tough yardage to about the 40. Mike Douglas leading a host of Packer tacklers. Winding up the Raiders offensively, the center is Dave Dalby. The guards are Gene Upshaw and Mickey Marvin. The tackles, Art Shell and Henry Lawrence. Gain of about 2 or so, 2nd down and 8.
Packer defense was just outstanding against the Cowboys last week. They held their rushing and really passing team to no first downs until the end of the first half. They were simply outstanding. 3-4.
Kenny King again, and it looked like Douglas again, along with Terry Jones, the nose tackle.
Nobody blocked Jones at all. Good penetration by the nose guard, number 63, Terry Jones.
Set up that Packer defense. Casey Merrill starting for Ezra Johnson at one defensive end. Terry Jones and Mike Butler round out that line. The linebackers are John Anderson, Rich Wingo, George Cumbie, and Mike Douglas. The safeties are Johnny Gray and Mark Murphy. And the corners are Estes Hood and Mike McCoy. And the Raiders have got a 3rd down and 7 from their own 41.
Switch to 4 down linemen now. Put that rush on the passer. There goes the bomb.
Looking for Chandler. Mark Lee defending on the play down at the Packer 20-yard line.
Pass was a good pass. Chandler had to slow up a little bit. It was very, very good coverage by the Packers that time. Actually, who was back there on defense? I didn't get that number.
22 was Mark Lee.
Mark Lee had him single man-to-man coverage and did an excellent job, Ken, of covering Chandler.
So Ray Guy, probably the best punter that pro football has ever seen, is back on his own 25-yard line. And for the Packers, Fred Nixon is the deep man and Johnny Gray the up man.
Look at that kick. See something?
Nixon on the 10. Not a bad run back to the 28-yard line where Mario Salato made the tackle for the Raiders.
Excellent return of probably the best punter this league's ever seen.
Ray Guy 7 times to the Pro Bowl. So the Packers take over on offense. Their starting quarterback is Lynn Dickey. The running backs Eddie Lee Ivory and Gary Ellis. The wide receivers James Lofton and Andre Thompson. Tight end Paul Kaufman. The center Larry McCarron. The tackles are Tim Stokes starting for the injured Mark Concar and Greg Cook. The guards are Carl Swanke starting for the injured Darrell Goforth and Leotis Harris. 1st and 10. Eddie Lee Ivory. This has all the earmarks of a defensive struggle in the early going. Dave Pear made the tackle for the Raiders. Very little gain, if any, for Eddie Lee.
Dave Pear, 7-year veteran out of the University of Washington. Good cutback by Eddie Lee here. He's trying to find a little bit of room, but it's great pursuit. There's number 74 on the stop. Dave Pear at Matuzak's. I did a show with Matuzak, who is from Milwaukee. He is the biggest, best-built big guy I've ever seen in street football.
2nd down and 9, and Gary Ellis. Looked like there was a hole there for a second, but it closed up in a hurry. Rod Martin on the tackle.
You ever seen Matuzak? He's huge. I've never seen a guy.
I've never.
285
I've been afraid
pounds.
to get too close to him, to tell you the truth.
He's ferocious looking. He really is.
Defensively for the Raiders, Matuzak, Kinlaw, and Dale Browning across the line. The linebackers Hendricks, Nelson, Matt Millen, and Rod Martin. The safeties Mike Davis and Burgess Owens. The corners Lester Hayes and Dwayne Osteen. 3rd down and 6 for the Packers.
Lester Hayes playing Thompson up on the top of your screen without the stickum.
James Lofton.
How about that? They put Lofton in the slot.
Dwayne Osteen bumped him out of bounds, but not before Lofton's got a 1st down in Raider territory at the 45, and Lynn Dickey's picking up right where he left off.
Nice little coaching change this week, putting Lofton on the inside. They used him exclusively, I think, last week on the outside. Dickey up to his old tricks, a little square out pattern right on target. That's James Lofton. You see number 37 down here in the bottom of your screen. He was going with Thompson deep. What they have to do, they have to try to get Lofton man-to-man. He always seems to be double covered.
1st and 10, Packers on the Raider 44.
Watch out.
And Dickey is down back on the 45-yard line, and Rod Martin with a sack.
Somebody didn't block Martin from the blind side. Missed the blocking assignment. Could have been number 40 there. You see, it had to be one of the backs. It either had to be Gary Ellis or Eddie Lee Ivory.
Give you an idea of how good the Packer offensive line has been playing. That's the first time any Packer quarterback has been sacked in the preseason.
Well, they were outstanding last week in protecting for Lynn Dickey. Anytime you see a quarterback have one of those great days, you know, 15 out of 18, no sacks, you know that offensive line is doing the job.
2nd down and about 16. Paul Kaufman.
All right.
He's got a 1st down on the Raider 31-yard line before linebacker Bob Nelson dragged him down from behind.
You know, this year is such a difference for me, Ken, to sit up here and see the Packers on offense. They look like they know what they're doing, and that comes with experience. That comes with the familiarity that you get by playing alongside your teammates, knowing what moves he's going to make. Now, Kaufman came in motion left. He cut back over the middle, was wide open. Poor coverage by the linebacker core there for Oakland, and Kaufman just split the seam.
So make Lynn Dickey 2 out of 2 last week. Dickey was 13 of 18 for 196 yards. 1st down.
Go again.
Lofton.
Unreal. Dickey's hot again.
Mike Davis has Lofton at the 7-yard line.
Dickey's hot. These Milwaukee fans are really enjoying this. It's been a long time since you've heard these cheers consistently. Here's another play-action pass. Good pickup that time by Eddie Lee Ivory. And a good step to the inside by Lynn Dickey. And Lofton was open. He is a great receiver, and he's really the key to the pass offense. You've got to get the ball to Lofton. They did it 71 times last year for over 1,200 yards.
Oakland linebacker Matt Millen put a lot of heat on Dickey, but he got away from it well. 1st and goal on the 7-yard line. That's Ivory to about the 3 with Rod Martin on the tackle.
Now, for Bart Starr, that play there, when they run that back next week, Ken, will be as impressive as the last pass. Why? Because everybody did their job. The toughest yardage to get is inside that 4-yard line. The offensive left side, Jerry Ellis did a job. Everybody blocked well.
Last week, Eddie Lee Ivory rushed 10 times for 42 yards, 4.2 average. Eddie Lee was the Packers' leading ground gainer last year.
You're going to try it on the other side, maybe?
2nd and goal. Ivory. Touchdown.
They went to the other side. Eddie Lee Ivory behind Jerry Ellis. And boy, the Packer fans here, they say, look at this. This is surely not the same team that we've been accustomed to the last 3 or 4 years. End zone shot. Look at Ellis in front. Good cutback. Now it's just good hard running by Eddie Lee Ivory. He got the last yard by himself.
69, Leotis Harris was leading him through, and these fans are rubbing their eyeballs just like we were in Dallas last week.
Take that first series and go right down the field. How about that? Defense does its job, forces Oakland to punt. First time Green Bay gets the football, they march for a score. That's the way it's drawn up.
Ray Stackowitz to hold and Roddy Savage to try the point after. Chalk it up.
Let's do it over.
46 to play in the first quarter, and the Packers lead the defending Super Bowl champion Oakland Raiders 7-0, and Bart Starr's off to a good start. That Packers scoring drive, 8 plays, 72 yards, time of possession 4 minutes and 28 seconds. The scoring play, a 2-yard run by Eddie Lee Ivory. Roddy Savage with the kickoff to Kenny Hill on the 7th. Wiley Turner stopped him at about the 36-yard line, along with some help from Maurice Harvey. But I'll tell you what, the Packer kickoff coverage leaves a little bit to be desired so far.
Well, it can't be perfect at every, category so far. This is still a very young part of the season. They got 82 football players, and they're shuffling a lot of people in and out. And that's where you're going to get most of your rookies playing on these special teams, Ken, and that's where most of your mistakes are going to be made.
First and 10, Raider ball on their own 36-yard line. You saw Tom Flores looking on. He's not real enthralled with what's happening. Jim Plunkett at quarterback. Caught by Kenny King, and down at the 44-yard line. Tackled by Rich Wingo. Let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
Ken, Casey Merrill is starting at defensive end for Ezra Johnson. Now, Ezra was supposed to suit up for today's game. He's having some back problems. Ezra is not in uniform, so he will not be seeing any action today. Back up to Ken.
Ezra did not start last week, but he did see some spot action against the Cowboys. Apparently that back is acting up again. Second down and about 2. King again. And he's very close to the first down. Rich Wingo has him at that point.
He's got it easy.
Kenny King. He played for the Houston Oilers, but he was playing behind a guy by the name of Earl Campbell, so obviously his future was not real bright in Houston. Oakland picked him up. What a year he had last year. 761 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. First and 10 Raiders, their own 47-yard line. Quick out to Cliff Branch, and he's nailed by Mike McCoy on the 42.
Johnny Gray got his hand on the football. He deflected a bit, but just not enough. Good concentration that time by Cliff Branch.
Those are the photographers along the sidelines. They have wars along the sidelines. And some of the crowd.
Very close to the first down. They're going to measure this.
Near capacity at Milwaukee County Stadium. Of course, the place holds in the vicinity of 56,000 people.
Does it really? I thought it was 49.
Well, not since they extended the bleachers out.
Oh, yeah.
Right field. Of course, also the home of the Milwaukee Brewers. They're bringing it in. Apparently, it's a little bit short.
First down.
Well, they made it. Okay, first and 10. 42-yard line. Jim Plunkett at the controls, and of course, most of you are familiar with the story of Jim Plunkett, a guy whose career was supposedly over. Picked up by the Raiders, their number 3 quarterback, an obscure person in pro football, and all of a sudden a Super Bowl hero. Ray Chester has it on the 20, and he fumbled the ball, and the Packers have it.
I'll tell you, that was a great pitch by Plunkett to the tight end going down the seam. Chester made a nice leaping grab but fumbled the football. And Green Bay recovered, and it's going to be the Packers football. We've got it again from the end zone.
Mike McCoy was the guy who got it.
There it is, going right down the middle. Watch this nice catch by Chester. He's hit, and he's hit hard. He drops the football, and McCoy comes up with it. And when we come back, it's going to be Green Bay's ball.
Every business day, the Wall Street Journal gives you news that can affect your business, your company, you, in depth, in detail, in time for you to use it.
Get all the business news you need when you need it. Get the Wall Street Journal delivered every business day for less than $1.50 a week. Just $77 for a full year. Call toll-free 1-800-323-7322. 52 weeks for less than $1.50 a week. Call 1-800-323-7322 now or write to P.O. Box 1403 Green Bay 54305.
We're part of a growing family that's 44 million strong in America. It's the credit union. That's where we found a wide choice of savings plans, offering us the best return on our money. It helped us get the better things in life. And we use our credit union share drafts to pay bills. They don't require high balances or charge high service fees. There's just no limit to the financial services we get from our credit union. So follow us to your credit union today.
Ken Lass and Paul Horning from Milwaukee County Stadium, where the Packers lead the Raiders 7-0, 6:44 to play in the first quarter. Mike McCoy recovered the fumble by Raymond Chester, and Lynn Dickey brings him up. Gary Ellis got some daylight up to the 30-yard line where Burgess Owens made the stop.
Nice execution. 5 or 6 on the ground running the football. That's Mr. Ellis there. Picked up a good 6.
A couple of other scores. The Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills are tied up 10-10 in the third quarter. And St. Louis has defeated the Seattle Seahawks 30-21. 2nd and 3. Ivory. He made something out of what looked like nothing.
Well, it was big number 83, Ted Hendricks, who I think is the best outside linebacker to ever play this game. I think he's made more plays as an outside linebacker, more big plays in professional football than any outside linebacker I've ever seen.
The master of the blocked field goal attempt, I think.
I think he blocked one last week, didn't he?
I believe so.
Blocked an extra point. He blocks one a week.
What is he, 6'9" or something like that?
He's about 6'7".
Hard not to block him.
Quite a character, too, off the field. He's a prankster, and he helps keep this team loose.
3rd down and 1. Ellis. Wrapped up in the arms of Rod Martin, and had Gary not tried to break it to the outside, he may have stood a chance of picking it up.
When it's 3rd and 1, you don't dilly-dally. Ken, you go for the first down. Not too good a run that time by Gary Ellis. You'll hate to see that in the movies next week.
We're going to see the free agent Frank Garcia punting for the Packers, so apparently the 3rd-round draft choice, Ray Stakowitz, will wait till the second half. That is Ira Matthews for the Raiders, former University of Wisconsin athlete, to return the punt for Oakland. Garcia standing back on his own 17. He had one blocked against the Cowboys last week. Not a bad kick.
Oh, right. Let's see how they rule this. Was he interfered with? If not, it's 6 points.
In the end zone,
it's 6 points. He did not make a fair catch. Oakland is claiming that Ira Matthews was interfered with the right to make the catch. Now, if he wasn't interfered with, it's 6 points for Green Bay.
Randy Scott was the guy who finally picked up the ball and ran it into the end zone. Watch it again and decide for yourself.
Now, if this is timed perfectly, it's going to be a good play. Here it is. Let's take a look. Judge for yourself. This is a judgment call. There's Ira Matthews. Was he hit before the ball, he touched the ball, or not? This is Nick. Is that Freddie Nixon?
That's Randy Scott.
Randy Scott picks it up and goes in for 6. They're still in a conference at the 15-yard line. There they are.
Ronnie Savage has come out to kick the extra point.
Jerry Siemens, the referee, one with the black hat on. Number 17. Let's get his call now.
Interference on Green Bay.
I thought it was a little quick.
Now, what is the rule with regard to...
Well, he has to have room to make a catch, even though it's not a fair catch. He cannot be touched before the ball touches him. It is a complete judgment call. It's one of the tough calls in professional football. It's a lot like interference, which it is. It's defensive interference on this case. And they ruled that he was interfered with, the right to catch the football. Here it is. This is not really the best angle to see it. There's Ira Matthews. Now, right there, I think the ball hit him before he was touched by a Green Bay defender. There's the man trying to block the Green Bay man. Ira Matthews now was not hit I don't think he was hit before the ball touched him, but they might rule that he took away the right to catch the football. The avenue of the catch might have been interfered with. So it's just a judgment call. We'll be back.
Ken Lass and Joe Schmidt from Milwaukee County Stadium. 4.5 minutes to play, and the officials are still talking about that last call. It was Freddie Nixon who was down there around Ira Matthews when the play occurred.
It was a very, very close call, folks. You're a Packer fan. You say, of course, listen to the booth here at Milwaukee County Stadium. It was a tough judgment call. My estimation, I don't think he was touched before he hit the football.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10, and Derek Jensen runs to the 47-yard line where he's tackled by George Cumby. Rich Wingo left the field with what might have been an injury on the last offensive play of the Raiders, the Raymond Chester fumble. He has been replaced in the lineup by number 60, Kurt Allerman, at one of the middle linebacker spots. So perhaps we'll have Joe Schmidt check out the Rich Wingo situation. 2nd down and about 4. Kenny King.
Kurt Allerman was right there in the spot then. Number 60. Good hit. It looks like they run that play a delayed action, don't they? Back hits off that left side, and he doesn't look like he hits the hole as fast as he can. He kind of waits for the blocking to take place, and then he turns it on.
Both teams staying with pretty much their first-string performers, and I see Rich Wingo coming back into the football game now. So apparently the injury not serious. George Cumby is out. .3:16 to play in the first quarter. 3rd and short. 1st down, Kenny King to about the Packer 48-yard line. Estes Hood on the stop. They really work King, don't they?
Oh, yes. It's just power football here, going right behind the fullback. Every team has this play. It's just a good power play off the right side. And the Packers use it off both the right and the left side. All your teams use that on short yardage.
Wingo had him around the legs on the play. There's Tom Flores, former quarterback for the Raiders from 1960 until 1966. Quarterbacked them to the Super Bowl championship in just his 2nd year at the helm. 1st down play. Kenny King. Boy, and did he take a shot from Mark Murphy.
Oh, I tell you, that secondary will hit. They've always had the reputation of being hitters. I've always thought that Johnny Gray was one of the best hitters in the National Football League. This time it's a beautiful pitch by Plunkett. He's actually rushed a little bit. Watch it. King keeps the football a little bit high. Doesn't really hold on to the football, and he's popped real good. The ball comes loose. Good hit.
Paul, of course, Mark Murphy, the fellow subbing for the injured Mike Jolly. Murphy completely untested at that free safety spot, and that's a crucial position back there.
It really is, but if you're going to be untested, that's where you want to be. Free safety, I would think, a lot of clubs, I think it's the easiest position in pro football to play. All you got to do is guard against the pass.
2nd and 10. Mike Douglas got the sack, and they brought everybody.
Douglas has been giving opposing quarterbacks a message this preseason. Last week against Dallas, he was well known in the backfield of the Cowboys. Here it comes, all-out blitz. Douglas from the outside, and Plunkett does what most experienced quarterbacks do. He hits the tank.
Cumby was coming as well. Mike Douglas, 5th-year man from San Diego State.
Well, I tell you, that linebacking crew, we were talking a little about it. I'm sure that Barton and his coaching staff love the way they perform. Anderson is back, Cumby's back in there. Wingo's back from last year, and of course Douglas, who really had a nice year last year.
3rd down and 21.
Look at that, they put pressure again.
Bob Chandler. Estes Hood defending on the play.
Don't worry, if he would have caught the football for 6, it would have been called back. It would have been nullified. Plunkett was, he ran too far. He was past the line of scrimmage when he let that one go.
I thought he was running an awful long distance forward on the play.
Well, they'll refuse this. It'll force him to punt.
Here it is again.
Watch Plunkett. Now, the line of scrimmage is about right there. Inside the 40, he just lets it go. Chandler on a little stop and go was wide open, but it was incomplete. It would have been brought back.
So the Packer defense holds. That's Freddie Nixon deep. Johnny Gray, the short man.
5-yard penalty and a loss of a down.
16 offense, lots of down, offense, 4th down.
A couple of other scores. Philadelphia leading the Steelers 16-7 at the half. Atlanta over the Jets 7-6 at the half. Tampa Bay's playing well in the preseason. They're leading New England 13-3 at the half. And the Cincinnati Bengals are leading the Detroit Lions 6-3 in the first quarter. There's Ray Guy.
Bengals won last week, Forrest. Greg needs a few wins this year, I think, to keep his job.
Nixon on the 22. Penalty marker down.
Good return. Beautiful return by Freddie Nixon that time. There's a flag. They'll probably clip him. Ken, that's usually the case when you see it thrown at that distance.
Mike Davis made the tackle for the Raiders.
It's going to take him out of nice field position.
Bart Starr, the final year of his 7-year contract. A lot of pressure on him to produce.
Looks like he can play right now. He's in great
Boy,
shape.
he is in good shape. I'll tell you who's in good shape is Zeke Bratkowski right there talking to Dickie. Zeke's out jogging around the stadium every day.
Illegal
Taking a
use of
quarterback's
hands
whizzing.
on the return. Number 22, receiving team, blocking in the back above the waist. 1st down.
Blocking in the back above the waist. This is Ray Guy on the punt. Great athlete.
Mark Lee is the guilty party here.
Number 22. We're going to watch number 22 blocking into the back. There it is right there. That is illegal, and we'll be back. It'll be Packers football.
Ray Anderson is on the bench right now. His left ankle in ice. No report on Rich Wingo yet. Back to the play.
Packers 1st and 10, ball on the 24. First string offense still in there. Quickie to Lofton.
Oh, yeah.
Out of bounds in the 31 in the arms of Mike Davis. James Lofton, 71 pass receptions last year. 2nd best in Packer history to the great Don Hudson. Of course, you're familiar with the contract holdout situation with Lofton. Came to terms the day before training camp started. Funny how that works out sometimes.
Just in time.
Gain is 7 yards in the play. 2nd down and 7. Double flanker to the left side now with Lofton and Thompson both wide. Ellis.
Very close to the 1st down.
Dave Pear leads a host of white shirts on the tackle.
I think he's got it.
There it is. The Oakland Raiders are the winningest team in the National Football League since the leagues merged back in 1967. And here is a statistic that I think is incredible. 16 consecutive winning seasons. 2 Super Bowl championships. Almost had a 3rd against the Packers back in 1967, but Green Bay won that one. 1st and 10.
Close.
That's Lofton.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I'll tell you one thing. Just check it. I think he was double covered. Lester Hayes was over there in the vicinity. I really didn't know if he had him man-to-man, but whoever it was, Lofton just outran him. What a sensational athlete this kid is. James Lofton, number 80, All-Pro. Dickey, great pass protection. And boy, he just got perfect timing on this play. He set it up. There he goes. And it looked like Lofton did a little outmove on All-Pro Lester Hayes. And 36 has got no chance to get this kid's speed. It's an easy 6 for James Lofton. Let's take another look, Ken. Look at the pass protection here. Good pass protection. Home run ball there. He beat number 37, Lester Hayes, very easily.
65-yard touchdown pass. Stakowicz to hold and Savage to attempt the point after. Oh, yes.
Well, I think everybody in Wisconsin will be wondering where the Super Bowl tickets are now. They really look sensational.
37 seconds to play in the first quarter, and the Packers have got it going again.
Don't go that strong, but I tell you, this keeps up. This is going to be they're going to be right in this Central Division race. No question about it.
4 plays, 76 yards, Packers 14, Raiders nothing, and the Green Bay bench now maybe believes in itself a little bit. And the Raiders, don't give up on them yet. They didn't win the Super Bowl for nothing.
Last year, Lynn Dickey proved, even though they only won 5 games, that he could really throw the football as far as the Packers were concerned. He proved that he could play the whole year without getting hurt. If he continues that, and of course the injury, and I hate to really say as an excuse, the last 2 years, you know, they've had over 32 football players go on injured reserve during the year, probably more than anybody in the league. And you just can't win when you have that many. If they can stay somewhat healthy, they're going to be a factor.
Savage with a kick. Barnwell dropped the ball. And dropped by Wiley Turner back on about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, he's not going to run away from Wiley Turner.
There's Malcolm Barnwell, a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a quick man. You don't want to get him out in the open.
You better be quick. He's 5'10", 180 pounds. You better be quick when you're that size playing this league.
Watch the replay.
This kid's going to be a great athlete and a great addition we were just talking about. And a little bobble here. You watch number 20 for the Packers. There's Turner. Comes down. He gets popped. Spins back to the inside. And you'll see him come into your picture now. Here he comes.
1st and 10 back in the 18. Complete to Derek Jensen and Wingo. Or check it, Alderman.
Is that Wingo or Alderman?
That's Alderman.
Yeah, it was. Number 60, not 50. Whew, good hit.
Plunkett had all the time in the world that time. But Alderman made Derek Jensen pay the price. And that's the end of the first quarter. So far, so good. The score, Packers 14, the Raiders nothing. We'll be back.
But I beat you that time, and easy.
Lester Hayes doesn't have to feel bad. James has done that to a few cornerbacks in his time.
Of course, Lester Hayes is not too happy. If you remember, folks, Hayes was the guy who put all the stickum all over him. He had it all over his body. Now they've outruled the use of stickum. And there will be reports this year. Now, he had one of the great years any cornerback's ever had in the history of this game. Hayes with all those interceptions. And if he even intercepts 10 passes, he'll have a great year this year.
Kenny King up the middle for the Raiders on 2nd down and short, and he's close to a 1st down at the 30, and I believe he has it.
But you watch, there'll be some writers that, you know, if Hayes don't get 2 interceptions each game, the first 3 or 4 games, they'll say he's having a bad year. And they'll blame it on not using the stickum.
33 on the sidelines is Horace Perkins, a rookie free agent defensive back. A lot of substitutions for the Packers in there right now. Byron Braggs, number 73, is the 5th-round draft choice from Alabama in that defensive line. Charles Johnson is at nose guard. 1st and 10. Kenny King. Fumble on the play, but the Raiders recover.
They're hitting.
Rich Moore, number 74, was the guy that hit King.
Good pursuit that time by the nose guard, number 99. That's Charles Johnson. Watch number 99 pursue here. Here he's rushing the passer. There goes a little pass out to the flat to Kenny King. And here comes 99, Charles Johnson. He coughs up the football, but Oakland got it back.
The center, Dave Dalby, was the guy who fell back in the ball for the Raiders. 2nd down and about 7. Ball is on the 34. Jim Plunkett, 5 out of 9 for 25 yards so far, but he's lost 6.
Looks like you got a full blitz on here.
George
There it
Cumbie.
is. Cumbie.
Look at George. 2nd-year man out of Oklahoma, missed all of last year with knee surgery.
They showed Oakland's offense there, the Packer blitz. They said, here we come. You try to block it. Now, usually they're in a 3-man setup or a 4. You can see them hitting the gaps here. Nobody touched Cumbie, number 52. The back there, that was his responsibility, wasn't even looking. Good blitz. The back failed to pick up.
So we go to 3rd down and 7. Raiders on their own 34. There's Cumbie. Boy, is he glad to be back on the field. Last year was a long year for that anxious rookie.
said when something about when you play at Oklahoma, you can play college football, you can play in the pros. They have some athletes at Oklahoma.
Bob Chandler.
Great pitch.
Out of bounds at the 46. He's got a first down. Estes Hood bumped him out there.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good coverage on the play as far as the Packers were concerned, Ken, but that was just a perfect pitch and a perfect route ran by Bob Chandler. Take a look at George Cumbie, the inside linebacker here. He's got Chester. Chester got to the inside. He's probably got inside coverage there. Chester got to the inside of it. Ball wasn't thrown to the tight end and went to on the outside to Chandler for the first down.
First and 10 Raiders. They've made penetration into Packer territory for, I believe, first time tonight. And Plunkett is down. Rich Moore. And Frank Reed, blitzing from his safety position, made the stop.
And it looks like defensively they're willing to gamble a little bit more on defense also this year, especially when you get a 14-0 lead. You can pull out a few stops, go after the quarterback. You know he's going to throw it 3 out of 4 times. Here it is again. Look at the blitz outside, safety blitz.
Frank Reed came over from the Atlanta Falcons in the Steve Luke trade, along with linebacker Dewey McClain.
Packers offside.
Penalty markers all over the place.
Got the free play going.
That's Chester.
I think he's got the first down. If it's against the Packers, they'll take the play.
Frank Reed and Dewey McClain on the tackle.
Well, Plunkett looks good throwing the football, but incidentally, I just want to give you a little stat. Dickey is 5 out of 5 for 185 yards and 1 touchdown. Last week, what did he have? 190 yards in the first half last week against Dallas.
Penalty declined. First down.
Watch this. There's Johnson may have gotten back. On the outside to the left of your screen, another Packer was offside. Good pitch. Nice catch by Raymond Chester here. And, of course, they're going to take the play.
Raymond Chester led all National Football League tight ends in receptions back in 1979. First and 10 play.
He's a great receiver. Got great speed and ability to go deep, Ken.
Cliff Branch to the 28 where McCoy wraps him up.
You know, it's a shame to have to say, as far as if you're McCoy, you have to give him that on a lot of occasions during a football game. Cliff Branch, with his great speed, will be open 4 or 5 times during the game on those little short hitch passes. He runs it a little bit deeper, and he runs it better than I think most receivers. Because of his great speed, he goes down the field a little bit deeper. He got 9 yards on a little hitch pass. Most receivers only get 4 or 5 out of that.
So it's second down and short. Kenny King. Reed missed him. Byron Braggs has got him for a loss. Number 73, 5th-round draft choice from Alabama.
Reed should have had him. They're going to come up short.
Third down play coming up. About 1.5 yards. Packers are out in front 14-0. If you just joined us, we've got 12 minutes even to play in the first half. A 65-yard touchdown pass from Dickey to James Lofton and a 2-yard run by Eddie Lee Ivory.
Arthur Whittington in and left halfback now for Oakland, the speedster. And he was open.
Whittington
Could have had it.
Frank Reed defending.
I said he was open. If Plunkett would have thrown the football about 7 yards earlier, nobody was around Whittington. I think it hit him right in the numbers, didn't it? He just didn't hold on.
Frank Reed might have had a little bit to do with that.
That's
right at the last minute.
I don't think he deflected the football, though. Let's take another look at it. From our vantage point up here, it looks like he was wide open, but Frank Reed came over there at the last minute. Let's take a look. Plunkett absolutely held on too. Yes, he did deflect the football. Good defensive move by Frank Reed. Plunkett, it was Plunkett's fault, Ken. He should have thrown it earlier.
They're going for it on 4th down and 1.5 yards.
Well, sure.
Caught for the first down.
Whittington.
Douglas on the tackle, and Arthur Whittington comes through. Are you surprised they went to the air on 4th and 1.5?
I don't know. Maybe that says something for that Packer defense, the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks. Although, it's awful hard to ask. I don't care what linebacker it is, to cover a back man-to-man on that kind of a situation. He's going to break in or out. He should beat him.
So the ball is nosing up to the Packer 25, and the Raiders have their best drive of the game going. First down.
Packers in a 3-4.
Caught by Whittington, and Cumbie knocks him out at about the 21. Short gain. So Plunkett's really going upstairs now. 10 out of 17 for 70 yards. Arthur Whittington getting a little surgery on his shoulder pads there. Jim Plunkett, the comeback player of the year last year, the MVP in the Super Bowl, Mr. Everything.
We got 3 quarterbacks, all highly paid. Pastorini behind Plunkett, and of course Mark Wilson, the great thrower from Brigham Young. I don't know if they'll keep all 3 of those.
2nd and 6, and Derek Jensen finds it going pretty tough over the left side. Douglas, among others, on the stop. Cumbie off the bottom.
It's a beautiful new scoreboard they have here at County Stadium. It's the first time I've seen it. They didn't have that last year, did they?
Last year was the first year for it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Milwaukee County Stadium crowd, 50,000 plus. 3rd down and 3 for the Raiders. Touchdown to Derek Jensen.
Well, you know, it's unreal. Plunkett pumped once. He threw off balance. He looks awkward. He put it right on the number. Beautiful pitch. Derek Jensen. Watch this. It's secondary receiver here. A little stunning. Oakland picks it up beautifully. Look at the little pump. Look, his right leg is out in front. He lays it over the linebacker's head right in Jensen's arm. Perfect pitch, and he was completely off balance. Have to have the strong arm to do that, Ken.
So it's a 21-yard touchdown pass, and Chris Barr will attempt the extra point with Bob Chandler holding. Score coming with 10:14 to play in the first half. Penalty marker down. The kick is good. So we'll see what the officials come up with. Probably somebody in the line.
It slows up the game so bad. I hate this.
Tom Flores.
Of course, if it's against Green Bay, they'll be penalized on the kick. If it's against Oakland, they'll have to kick it again.
So Chris Barr will back it up and have to boot it from about the 15.
Yeah.
Let's go to Joe Schmidt down on the field.
Ken, Rich Campbell, the Packers' #1 draft choice, is warming up in the sideline. I think it's a good possibility we'll see Campbell in the Packers' next offensive series. Back up to you.
Okay, that would be a surprise.
Well,
we were expecting to see Whitehurst first.
Well, we respect, but here's what's happening. He wants to use that first-team offensive line. You mentioned that at the top of the broadcast, Ken. And if he waits to the 4th quarter, that offensive line might be a little bit cold. Their substitutes probably will be playing by then, so he wants to put him in now. And like I said, by telling everybody and maybe even telling Rich Campbell that he's going to play in the second half, he takes the pressure off of him now by putting him in right now. He's not expecting it.
Extra point good. It's 14-7. We'll be back. Twine game in Milwaukee. Wait till you see the halftime show. They really do it up right at County Stadium. Chris Barr to kick off. They've cut the Packer lead in half, 14-7.
Good kick.
Fred Nixon about 4 yards deep, and he'll kneel down. So we'll see who comes in.
I think it's going to be Campbell. Yes, it is. It's a pretty good move by Bart Starr and Zeke. You know, tell the kid he's going to play in probably the 3rd or 4th quarter. He's probably been reading that in the papers. Are they going to use him or not right here?
They haven't sent a quarterback out yet. Here he comes, Rich Campbell.
They're going to get him a little time so the folks can get to see him, too. Rich Campbell coming. And what I'm saying, psychological, it's a good move on Bart's part. you see, you get him in there with that first team offensive line. You also get him in there before he thinks he's going to go in there, so he's not nervous sitting around all that first half. At the end of the first half, wondering, well, I'm going to play. It's going to be 20, 25 minutes waiting for those butterflies to see.
His first snap in an NFL game. 1st and 10 at the 20.
Think it'll be a run?
Steve Atkins carrying the football to about the 22. Johnny Robinson on the tackle. Packer running backs now are Steve Atkins and Eddie Lee Ivory. Gary Lewis, number 81, the second-round draft choice out of Texas Arlington, is in there at tight end. Freddie Nixon is in there at wide receiver. So Bart is putting a couple of second stringers in there with Campbell. But not in the line. 2nd and 7. Ivory bounced off a couple of hits, but still found the going pretty tough. Jeff Barnes on the stop. Raiders with several second stringers in on their defensive unit. So it'll bring up 3rd down and about 3. And perhaps we will see Rich Campbell throwing his first pass in the NFL. He is the NCAA pass completion percentage all-time champion. 3rd and about 3.
Got a nice soft touch. I watched him warm up. Often on the left.
Batted down by Matt Millen. And it's 4th and 3. Few butterflies, maybe, Paul?
Oh, well, yeah, but he was probably a little bit nervous after that first play and first pass in the pro career. He wanted to complete it, but it wasn't his fault. It was deflected. Oh, you'll see what he can do in the next series. I'm sure Bart will probably give him another shot.
Frank Garcia, the rookie free agent to punt. Ira Matthews, the return.
Got plenty of time. The second quarter, 8:35 to go, so we're going to see some more of it.
High snap.
Not too good a kick.
Matthews on the 42. Short return, but he had to let down quickly to make the stop.
28-yard kick. High snap. High snap threw off his rhythm. So it'll be Oakland's ball when we come back.
Milwaukee County Stadium, 8:26 to play in the first half. The Packers with a 14-7 lead. It'll be the Raiders football when we get back into action. And Paul Horning was just talking during the break about the unequal bratwurst here in Milwaukee,
this is the best ballpark I think I've ever been to as far as bratwurst and hot dogs are concerned. You know, when we used to play here, if Lombardi ever knew that McGee and I used to get here early in the butt, we used to sneak away and get a bratwurst. You know, if he ever knew that, he would have had a heart attack. But I tell you, I love them. Whenever I'm here in Milwaukee, I never eat. I always eat 2 or 3 bratwursts with that sauerkraut. It is the best in the country.
We expect Jim Plunkett to go the entire first half at quarterback. He's got a couple of new wide receivers in there. First down. Kenny King.
Good
Stop
coverage.
At the 46-yard line by Rich Moore. We've been talking a lot about number 74, Rich Moore. He's a free agent out of California Davis. Pretty unheralded coming in.
Also a good pursuit by Paul Rudzinski from Michigan State. Number 58 in on the stop.
Rudzinski, the master of the re-signing. He's been cut and re-signed by the Packers at least 3 times that I can think of offhand.
How do you do that?
2nd down and 9. He threw it up for grabs.
Intercept.
Picked off by Mark Lee. It's 6 points.
Boy, a fine interception, Plunkett. You go to the well once too often. I mentioned that he threw one off balance. He threw a perfect pitch for a touchdown. He threw it awkwardly and off balance. It was a great pitch. This one wasn't that pretty. Watch. Plunkett should never have thrown this football. He was rushed from the outside. The guard didn't pick up. The guy had his leg. He just threw it up for grabs. It was a very poor pass. And Mark Lee was just sitting up there like a wounded duck. And what a great run after he caught the football. Folks, that's 60 yards on an interception for the touchdown. Going down the left sideline. One man has a shot, but not with Lee's speed. That's Jensen. No way.
The extra point from Ronnie Savage is good. 7:31 to play in a half. 21-7. Green Bay will be back. Young free agent Ronnie Savage has had a chance to do a lot of kicking. Pleasantly so here in the first half.
How about that? The Packers put 21 points on the board against the Cowboys last week in the first half, and they come right back against the world champion Oakland Raiders. It's 21-7, folks.
This is Arthur Whittington on the 12. Calvin Muhammad, rather than Whittington, carrying the football and down on the 23-yard line by David Petway, a free agent secondary man.
Calvin Muhammad. He's a basketball player, too, I guess, is he?
You got me. I'm not up on Calvin Muhammad. 12th round pick out of Texas Southern. He was drafted back in 1980, signed with the Canadian Football League for a while. First and 10 Raiders on the 24. The new wide receivers for the Raiders are Rich Martini wide to the bottom of your screen and Morris Bradshaw wide to the top. Down. Charles Johnson.
I tell you what, Plunkett's not too agile back there when he looks at a blitz. Here's a big defensive tackle, about 6'7". Could you imagine what a guy like Tarkington would have done with that? He just stepped to the side. Plunkett takes a nosedive.
Charlie Johnson, his third year out of Maryland, 6'1", 262 pounds.
Easiest thing in the world to do is when you get a defensive lineman coming at you with this much, all you have to do is step to the side. He can never stop.
Second down and 19. Kenny King. Frank Reed gave him a pretty good headbutt there. Brian Cabral got him from behind. And
getting up a little slow.
King's got a few cobwebs. Boy, Tom Flores doesn't want to take a chance with this guy.
A little groggy. Yeah, let me get back down. He got hit pretty good, I guess.
Boy, the Raiders will take a careful look at him. Mark Van Egan, incidentally, is out of this game with bone chips in his elbow. Mark is the leading rusher in Oakland Raider history.
Cleveland beat Buffalo 13-10. See if we can take a look at this shot here. This little sweep with Kenny King. Watch the pursuit on the Packers here. He gets hit, but was that Reed?
That was Reed that met him head on. And you can see the Raider training staff.
He got up for a while. It looked like he was okay, and then was a little bit groggy. Just propped right back.
Next week, the Packers are in Denver to play the Broncos, and you'll see that game live all along the Packer Preseason Football Network. And the following week, we're at Lambeau Field in Green Bay to play the Cleveland Browns. And Kenny King is up and walking and looks pretty good.
Not a chance that last game be moved out to Door County, is it?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Imagine.
It's going to bring up a third down and about 10 for the Raiders. Packers certainly didn't do themselves many favors when they made out this preseason schedule with the Cowboys and the Raiders and the Broncos and the Browns.
Working out pretty good so far, right?
I guess. Arthur Whittington is the man who replaced Kenny King in the backfield. 3rd and 10.
See if they blitz.
Rich Moore, I think, was caught offside.
They got a free one.
Looking for Rich Martini,
Interference.
and we're going to have pass interference down on this end.
Good call.
Mike McCoy and Estes Hood had Martini doubled up.
Rich Martini, ball was overthrown. The defensive back keeps her eye on the football here. There would not be interference. That's what the coaches want him to do so bad. The Packers were offside. Plunkett knows he's got a free play. And what? This ball is way overthrown, but he was hit before the ball got on target. Judgment call, interference. They're going to take it. Unless it's both teams.
Well, we have procedure against the Raiders.
How about that? Double foul. Replay it.
Illegal motion, number 89, offense.
See if we can pick up the procedure call here. There it is. The outside receiver was moving. He was moving. It was a good call. Interference against the Packers. Legal procedure against Oakland. Replay it.
That's what you call a break.
Offsetting penalty.
So we do it all over again. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 24. Martini and Bradshaw are both wide to the top of your screen. They're looking for Bradshaw, and Estes Hood had the better shot at it.
I'll tell you one thing about Plunkett. He don't fool around with that shortstop, does he? He goes for the home run. Loves to throw deep. He got away with it all last year. He threw deep when he had to, and when he didn't have to, he threw deep. Here it is again. Little corner pattern, double coverage. Estes Hood almost comes up with the interception. Beautiful coverage. Mark Lee there has already had one return for 60 and a touch.
Jim Plunkett, 12 out of 21 for 84 yards and one interception. Returned 60 yards for a touchdown.
You see how Ray Guy does. He's kicking against a pretty good wind. Look at that hand. Look at those hands. Is this something?
Johnny Gray. Well, Johnny just couldn't find the handle on the football at the 39.
I think that's the value of it. They said Al Davis was crazy when they drafted Ray Guy #1. Probably one of the greatest drafts that I've seen since I've been watching him playing professional football. Ray Guy was such a great athlete. Watch the hands here. Now, probably 8 out of 10 punters, that ball would have sailed right over his head. It would have been gone. But he saved it, stepped up inside. He didn't worry about the rush. He knew he was going to be on the inside of it.
Mark Concar, number 79, you saw the arm heavily wrapped. Rich Campbell, the quarterback, on 1st and 10. Turdell Middleton and Steve Atkins in the backfield. Middleton. Tackled by Bob Nelson for a loss back around the 38.
Come on, Rich. Just mix it up a little bit, not that run, pass. Let me see you throw the football on 2nd down here.
Philadelphia Eagles now leading the Steelers 26-13 in the 3rd quarter.
I should say the plays are coming in from the sidelines.
Falcons over the New York Jets 7-6 at the half. 2nd and 11.
Double wing, he'll throw it this time. Good arm.
Lofton. And Rich Campbell is in the record books.
Mike Davis knows why James Lofton's all pro. He was stuck out there by himself on him. They were in a double wing, which forced, they caught Oakland in a single coverage on James Lofton. He loves it. The receivers really likes it on a night like this. He knows there's not one guy out there can cover him man-to-man. And Campbell also knows that. The good thing for Campbell, he read it perfectly. He saw man-to-man coverage out there. Davis is no match for Lofton.
Well, that ought to get the butterflies out of the stomach of Rich Campbell.
He's big. What is he, 6'4"?
Yes, sir.
Nice soft touch, too. I watched him in warm-up.
1st and 10 play.
Watch how nice he releases. He moves outside the pocket.
Steve Atkins caught the ball and will be marked down at the 40. Atkins, third year out of Maryland. Had trouble with injuries. Missed a great deal of last year with a knee.
He can help, though. He's the type of back that you really need through a long campaign of 16 games. Now, the Packers are 4 deep in running backs. That is, if there are no injuries, right, Ken? They've got 4 good running backs now. Atkins, Cordell, Middleton behind.
That's right.
Ellis
Then
and
there's
Eddie Lee.
the durable Eric Torkelson and Vicky Ray Anderson and Harlan Huckabee.
Well, there's got a lot of them. I don't think they're going to keep that many. They don't keep 7, will they?
I doubt it. Second and about
Somebody's
8.
offside or something.
Atkins. Short gain to about the 39. And the Stork, Ted Hendricks over there cleaning up. And let's check out the penalty flag. Offsides, Raiders. Number 92, you see there is Tim Huffman. He is the 9th round draft choice out of Notre Dame that the Packers are taking a look at.
I worked a lot of games there at Notre Dame with Lindsey Nelson. I saw the Huffman boys play. He's the last of them.
Trying to make it as a tackle.
I think he's got a younger brother that's coming up who's also a great prospect.
Cedric Hardman called for the offsides.
The other Huffman plays for the Vikings. His brother?
I believe so. Huffman reported the summer camp a little bit out of shape, but the coaching staff says he's worked real hard. This is a 1st and 10 play. I'm sorry, 2nd down and about 7.
Get rid of it.
Penalty marker down. Cedric Hardman had Campbell wrapped up. Holding Packers.
They'll take the play. Watch 83. The Stark. Here he comes on the inside. Good pickup that time by Steve Atkins. But Cedric Hardman on the outside gets credit for the sack.
Ted Hendricks, of course, played for the Packers back in the middle 70s.
There's another one. Cedric Hardman played for the 49ers. They picked him up, Oakland, and they used him on passing situations. Was credited with a lot of sacks last year and gets after the quarterback.
3rd down and 9. Campbell to Middleton, and he's well short of the 1st down at the 40-yard line. Rod Martin had him.
A nice little move by Campbell that time, moving up into the pocket. He was forced up, but he knows what he's doing in the passing game. All your Stanford quarterbacks, going all the way back to Frankie Alberts and John Brody, and they just have a feel for the passing game. It's something about Stanford. If you can throw the football out there on the West Coast, you're going to end up at Stanford.
Jim Plunkett.
Jim Plunkett.
Frank Garcia to punt. 43 is Ira Matthews. 41 is Ted Watts. He is their number 1 round draft choice out of Texas Tech, a cornerback, and the Packers were interested in him as well.
Lofton's caught 4 tonight for 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Dickey's, as we said, was 5 out of 5 for 185.
And Lynn may be done for the night, I would think.
Oh, I would say so. And Campbell, 2 for 5 so far for 31 yards. 3 for 5.
Frank Garcia there has done all of the punting in the 1st half, and we expect to see probably 3rd round draft choice Ray Stackowitz in the 2nd half. There's Ted Watts. This guy's a talented guy out of Texas Tech. One of the top cornerbacks in the draft. Raiders were coming. Fair catch by Ira Matthews on the 10-yard line. They'll spot it closer to the 11.
30-yard kick.
And the Raiders will take over, trailing 21-7. Why catch the ball on the 11-yard line, Paul?
Well, because that ball was a low kick, and it was covered pretty good, and it was angling towards the sideline, so it probably saved a few yards there. I think most of your rules are, if you're inside the 10, you let it go. If you're outside the 10, you catch it. You fair catch it.
You saw Bart Starr. No signs of happiness there. He's just going to stay intense. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Jim Plunkett's gone all the way for the Raiders.
12 out of 21 for 89 yards.
And Whittington runs into a roadblock. Byron Braggs is 73. 99 is Charles Johnson. 65 is Cabral. A lot of subs in there for the Pack.
Well, this happened last week to Oakland. Oakland was behind. The Atlanta Falcons came back in the last half to beat Atlanta 17-16.
Second down at about 9. Penalty marker down.
Plunkett's running. Watch him go down.
He is safe at second base, and Charles Johnson and Mike McCoy made sure he went down fast.
Could be a holding call here. Nice night for football here at County Stadium. Just nice and cool.
Infraction against the Raiders, as you saw. We were a little worried about the weather before the ball game.
Looked like it was going to storm.
Then kind of intermittent on and off rain here in Milwaukee all day long. But the field is in great shape. As Joe Schmidt reported to you early, they had it covered. And playing conditions on the field have not been a factor. So they're going to walk it all the way back to the Oakland 6-yard line, and here's the call.
Holding number 71 offense.
Lindsey Mason, a third-year man out of Kansas, is the guilty party. Chicago Bears are playing the Kansas City Chiefs tonight, and they're trailing the Chiefs 6-0 in the first quarter. Bears lost to the New York Giants big in their first preseason game last week. 2nd and 15. Mike McCoy.
Well, Plunkett didn't read anything. He was trying to hit the running back on a corner pattern. He was triple covered. He just threw it right into a host of defenders. McCoy comes up with the interception back into his own end zone. He's got all the time. You see, doesn't even look over the secondary. There's 2 green jerseys right there. McCoy's got the short pattern, and he comes up with the interception.
Trying to hit Arthur Whittington. Mike McCoy in his 6th year out of Colorado, and probably one of the underrated cornerbacks around the league. You very seldom ever hear his name mentioned, but he's been a steady performer, and the Packers are whooping it up on the sidelines tonight.
All right. Campbell's got a shot to put the Pack in front by 3 touchdowns.
1st and 10 on the 13.
They're going to throw it.
It was looking for Middleton, but Campbell was throwing it away. Running backs are Middleton and Atkins.
Play brought in from the sidelines. Of course, that's one of Bart's whole favorite tricks. After an interception, doesn't matter if you're on top or behind, and you'll see a lot of veteran quarterbacks do that. After an interception or a turnover, come right in, you try for the home run. You go for the bomb, hoping that your defense is a little bit lax and trying to get acclimated to having to go in at opportune time. Maybe just a blown assignment or something, and let 6 go up on the board.
2nd and 10. Draw to Atkins. Play looked like it was a little slow developing. The opening seemed to be there. And look out, Larry McCarron is into it with somebody. Matt Millen and Larry McCarron went after it. Sid Kitson is 64.
Well, they're going to hurt anybody with all that equipment on. Anyway, Atlanta leads the Giants 14-6. New England 17. Tampa Bay 16 now, both third quarter scores. And Detroit leads Cincinnati 13-9, another third quarter score.
Here comes the call.
Personal foul. number 72, defense. Personal foul, number 54, offense. Offsetting penalty.
Offsetting penalty.
John Matuzak was the guy that got called for Oakland.
Matuzak, he's a beauty.
What's Larry McCarron doing picking on Matuzak?
I don't think anybody should. Especially in a uniform.
2-minute warning. 21-7. Packers will be back.
Hey, shoot. Come here a second.
But listen, I'm busy.
Come on, I have
Will you
something to
please
tell
leave
you.
me alone? I'm busy. I have lots of things to do.
I'm making apple strudel tonight. You want some?
Stay limp.
Colonel, I'm in a hurry. The break table is...
Watch Hogan's Heroes, weekdays at 4:30 on 3.
Next on Barney Miller, it's Doomsday.
Coming to an end.
Save us, O God, Lord of hosts, Lord of Israel.
Who arrested the rabbi?
But the kids aren't worried.
We're gonna go someplace and start life all over again.
Yeah, someplace out west, like Montana or Pittsburgh.
Watch Barney Miller, weeknights at 11 on 3.
2 minutes to play in what has been a rather pleasant first half for the Packers. They lead it 21-7. Ken Lass, along with Paul Horning at Milwaukee County Stadium, preseason game number 2. Last week, a 21-17 victory over the Cowboys. Something about the number 21 that seems to jive pretty well with Green Bay.
They're going to get more than 21 tonight. Right here, at least a field goal.
Packers looking at a 3rd down and 8 from the Oakland 10.
Love to see a screen right here.
Rich Campbell has been the quarterback since the middle of the 2nd quarter.
Very tight formation for passing. There goes Lofton. Got him man to man.
Campbell in big trouble right from the start, and I think it was Hendricks who got him, yes. The Mad Stork strikes again.
He's unreal.
So Roddy Savage will come in to try the field goal. Let's watch the play again.
This is something you'll have to learn real quick. Instead of really retreating, go down right away. On the sack, Hendricks, kind of a sloppy bootleg that time. Of course, it didn't really take him out of field goal range, but it almost takes him out of a sure field goal. This will be a 40-yard attempt.
Stakowicz holding for Roddy Savage. He got it.
And he got interfered with, too. There's a yellow flag down, unnecessary roughness on the kicker. He hit him after he kicked the football. They'll tack on this penalty on the kickoff.
Savage, of course, battling Jan Stenerud for a job. There is one other place kicker on the roster. That's Don Sweet. Roughing the kicker against the Raiders. Don Sweet has done very little kicking in summer camp because of a leg injury. Now let's see if we can pick up Savage getting hit.
Oh, yeah, we'll pick it up. They just tried to block it. Here he comes. Let him go. He paid the price of that field goal.
It looked like Henry Lawrence, a 6'4", 270-pound tackle, was the guy who nailed Savage.
What are you doing? Yeah, oh yeah, they're gonna wait a minute, it's a 15-yard penalty, so to give the Packers a 1st down and they'll retain the football. Now the kick was good. Now they can either take the penalty, which is 15 yards, roughing the kicker, just like a punt. We've seen them many times on 4th down on the punt. Now instead of, they could have taken the 3 points, took the 15 yards on the kickoff, but no, they want the penalty first and automatic 1st down. So now they retain possession of the football and try to get 6 on the board.
What it means is the score remains 21-7.
Right.
But the Packers now have a 1st down on the Raider 18 with 1:39 to play in the 1st half. So you take a calculated risk. You throw away 3 points, but you gamble on 7.
Right. There's really no problem here in the preseason of that guess there.
Rich Campbell at the controls. Middleton. That Raider defense is really starting to look tough. Dave Browning on the tackle for Oakland.
The Raider first unit in there.
62 is Buddy Adelette. He's a reserve in the offensive line. Tim Stokes is a starter in there. Greg Cook is a starter. He's in there. As far as I can tell, Adelette is the only reserve in the offensive line at the moment. Second down and about 8. We're under the 1-minute mark in the half now. Incomplete. He was looking for Gary Lewis, the second-round draft choice from Texas Arlington at the 15-yard line. Otis McKinney defending on the play, and again, Campbell got the heat.
He really did. It's about the 6th straight time now Campbell's been forced out of the pocket, Kent. And you really can't expect him to do too much. Nobody picked up anybody on the left side. Good pitch. Should have caught it.
So Rich has had some problems back there, keeping the guys off his back. Third down and 8. Packers must get to about the 7.5-yard line for the first down. We're down to 48 seconds in the first half. They're going to run it with Atkins.
Good run.
Short of the first down at the 12 and tackled by Rod Martin. And Roddy Savage will try it again. Now, if he misses this field goal, I guess it's second-guess time for Bart Starr.
No, it's not really. Do the right thing. I always want to try to put that 7 up on the board.
This one will be a 30-yard field goal. The one Savage hit before was 40 yards.
Only one you second-guess here if he misses his kicker in this distance. Like an extra point.
It's good. He missed the football with a net, but the Packers got the 3 points with 4 seconds to play in the first half. And they now have officially extended their lead 24-7, and I don't think he's going to get his net off of the fence. There it goes.
Oh, yeah.
He had it hung up there for a second.
WISC-TV Madison.
Four seconds to play in the first half, and Roddy Savage has done a pretty good job.
Ooh, almost got it. He needs a little bit longer extension.
You think there's any chance the Packers would cut Jan Stenerud and keep Roddy Savage?
I don't know. I haven't seen Jan kick yet.
Neither has anybody else. He hasn't kicked yet. We expect to see him in the second half.
He's one of the great kickers of all time. Whether they can still do it, I don't know. You know more about it than I do. I haven't seen him kick in practice, have you?
He's been kicking as well as anybody. All the kickers have looked pretty equal in practice so far.
Well, they need a kicker who's consistent enough in the field goals, but I think almost just as important, they need a guy who can put it inside the 5-yard line on the kickoffs. That's so important today.
This is Kenny Hill on the 20 off the squib kick. And the clock has run out. And that is the end of the first half.
And here the Packers getting a standing ovation here in Milwaukee.
And they deserve it. The score at the half, the Green Bay Packers 24. And the Oakland Raiders 7. The Packers having an even better first half against the defending Super Bowl champions than they did 1 week ago against the Dallas Cowboys. And the Packers continue to surprise just about everybody around the National Football League. Lynn Dickey, number 12. He's done for the night. 5 out of 5 for 185 yards and a touchdown. There's Rich Campbell, number 19. David Whitehurst, we will probably see him later on in the ball game. The Green Bay Packers have got it going in the 1981 preseason. Coming up at halftime, an interview with the controversial owner of the Oakland Raiders, Al Davis, who's here watching his football team play. Of course, the Raiders just involved in that mistrial situation out on the West Coast. So we'll get the latest on that. We'll be back. It's halftime, 24-7, Green Bay.
Cutting your own firewood? Well, watch this. An old chainsaw will cut like new if you put on a fresh cutting chain when the old one wears out. An Oregon brand chain. They've got them to fit any saw made. Because with a sharp new chain, you don't have to be built like me to saw wood. You can be built like Grandpa here.
Year after year, no one cuts more wood than Oregon. Oregon chains are available at your nearest Mills Fleet Farm store.
Hi, Pat Summerall. Get book 2 of my 64-page full-color Sports Stars collection free with any $10 purchase at participating True Value hardware stores.
And right now, you could celebrate end-of-summer savings with their pre-Labor Day Carnival of Value circular, where you'll find Duro Super Glue 3 for just 88 cents a tube, and this True Test Latex caulk for just $1.18. This long-wearing Orel paintbrush is just $3.99, and get 4 Value Bright light bulbs for just $1.19 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Ken Lash and Paul Horning at Milwaukee County Stadium. We're at halftime, and the Shriners are going to put on a great show down here in the field, but let's go now to Paul Horning and Al Davis.
Magnificent golf on 27 picturesque holes. A fully equipped pro shop, a convenient coffee shop, and elegant dining. Everything you'd expect at a fine, members-only country club. Well, all of this is at Lake Windsor Country Club, where the public is welcome to use all the facilities anytime, any day. Lake Windsor. It's the country club that isn't.
You see a lot of bad news about home prices. Well, finally, here's some good news from Miles Homes. Even today, you can probably afford a do-it-yourself Miles home because you save thousands. Down payment? That's good news. And here's more. If you buy a Miles home and take delivery now, you'll have no payments at all for 6 months. So call this number right away and get some good news for a change.
Meet the professor.
The professor has quite a way with the ladies.
He is like no other man, but neither is Chuck Norris in An Eye for an Eye. Chuck Norris doesn't need a weapon. He is a weapon.
Oh, boy.
Chuck Norris in An Eye for an Eye.
Rated R. Coming soon to a theater near you. Check newspapers for theaters and times. News 3, tonight at 10 on 3.
Ken Lass and Paul Horning, halftime. The Packers have returned to the field. They lead the Raiders 24-7. Statistics from the first half. First downs, Oakland 8, Green Bay 7, interestingly enough. Net yards rushing, Oakland 40, Green Bay 39. Net yards passing, Oakland 93, Green Bay 136. Turnovers, Oakland's lost 1 on a fumble, but it was a crucial one.
Yeah.
Pass attempts, individually.
5 for 5 for Dickey, right?
Right, Lynn Dickey, 5 out of 5 for 143 yards and a touchdown, including a 65-yarder to James Lofton. Rich Campbell, 3 out of 6 for 27 yards. And over on the Oakland side, Jim Plunkett, 19 attempts, 12 completions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
The difference in this ball game has just been Green Bay Packers' aggressiveness, especially on offense and defense, especially in the secondary. They've come up with the big play. It's as simple as that, Ken. Mark Lee came up with the big interception for 60 yards for a touchdown. Dickey hit James Lofton on a 65-yard bomb. He beats Lester Hayes on the right side. They run well, and they scored what? I think Eddie Lee Ivory got over from the 1-yard line. I mean, Green Bay has just played outstanding football in the first half of both of these preseason games.
Paul, I got to ask you, what happened to Al Davis out there?
Well, I talked to Al. I walked by, and he said, Paul, he wasn't going to come on and talk. He's in too much hot water with that trial right now about Oakland moving down to Los Angeles, and really he can't comment on the trial. And I guess it'll still be appealed to the Supreme Court. And he's not in too good a mood anyway. Al is the type of guy, of course, that hates to see Oakland lose even a preseason game. He's not too happy with the performance of the Oakland Raiders right now.
You see David Whitehurst warming up. We expect to see him in the second half. Whether he will start the half or not remains to be seen.
Freddie Dixon going back there with Mark Lee, right?
Right.
So the Packers have played two great first halves against two of the better teams in professional football. Last week against Dallas and this week against Oakland.
Kicking off for the Raiders is Mike Lansford, first-year man out of the University of Washington. He's trying to beat Chris Barr out of the place-kicking job here with the Raiders, and I don't think he has too much of a chance of that. So here we go, the second half of the Shrine game from Milwaukee County Stadium. Mark Lee on the 12. Close to the 30-yard line.
Good position. They'll take it every time, the 30-yard line.
Frank Hawkins and Rick Moser on the tackle for the Raiders. And Rich Campbell is going to be the quarterback for the Packers.
All right.
And you see the first-string offensive line there. Gary Lewis, second-string tight end, at least as it stands right now. Some talk that Lewis may unseat Paul Kaufman before the season is over at tight end. There's Rich Campbell.
After the year he had last couple of years? I don't think so.
First and 10 from the 30. Turdell Middleton.
All right.
Little explosion through the left side of the line. Oakland tackle by Randy McClanahan, but not before Turdell picks up about 6. TD, they call him.
Behind the fullback, Atkins. There comes your guard pulling on the other side. Good cut by Middleton. Now he plants a right foot and tries to get to the outside. The linebacker on the stop. Good pickup. Pickup 6.5.
Leotis Harris was the pulling guard over on the side. Second down and 4 from the 36. Nixon to the bottom. Penalty markers down, and Atkins is down as well. That play just didn't look right from the start. Some scores around the league. The Cleveland Browns have defeated the Buffalo Bills now, 13-10. Miami Dolphins are leading Denver 10-7 at the half. Packers must play the Broncos next week. Still only a 6-0 score in that Kansas City-Chicago Bear game. Penalty against the Raiders.
First down.
Kansas City Chiefs 6, Bears nothing in the first. And the score we had earlier, St. Louis knocked off Seattle 30-21. That's the final.
Last night.
Ball on the 41, first down. Middleton. And the silver and black takes care of him, and Willie Jones, a third-year man out of Florida State, made the tackle. Turdell, a 1,000-yard rusher for the Pack back in 1978. One of only 4 men in Packer history to rush for 1,000 yards in a season. Of course, I guess with the 16-game season now, that statistic becomes a little less significant.
It means nothing really as far as what it used to mean when a 10-game season and 12 games.
Yeah.
You should say 1,500 yards now, then it'd be a little tougher, wouldn't it?
Old Mr. Taylor used to rack up a couple of those, though.
Yeah. Every year.
Second and 8. Intended for Calvin Perkins down on the 25-yard line. Perkins, the free agent who missed all of last year with a knee injury.
He's got a good, strong arm. Wow, he just looked like that so effortlessly, right?
Rich Campbell can throw the football. 70.7% of his passes he completed in his college career. That's an all-time NCAA record. He tore the medial collateral ligament in his knee in October of 1980. And missed the rest of his senior year.
And I missed the rest of golf season this year by doing the same thing.
Third down and 8. Penalty marker down. Joe Campbell is the guy that wrapped up Rich Campbell.
Campbell may have got him by the face mask. There it is. Everything's falling into place. So for the Packers. Last couple of years have been going the opposite. Watch Campbell, #1 draft choice out of University of Maryland a few years ago, was traded to Oakland. They got him by the face mask. He doesn't like it either.
Oh, he's upset.
He played in Miami. In New Orleans.
Face mask, number 79 defense. First down. First down.
I think Hank Stram let him go for nothing. So Campbell.
Here it comes again. Watch the head of Rich Campbell snap to the side.
There's big left hand.
Right there.
He had him by the right hand. Automatic first down.
1st and 10 on the 43. Freddie Nixon was the man for whom the pass was intended.
It was a little bit low, but it was on target. It was right in the middle of 5 defensive Oakland Raiders. It was really kind of a good pitch. It could have been caught. It would have been a good catch. Off of play action. Watch Campbell. He's looking for Nixon coming across the middle here. Now look at this. There. That's a pretty good pitch right there, folks. Now, that ball should have been caught. It would have been a good catch, but he threaded the needle.
Look on Rich Campbell now, 8 passes, 3 completions, 27 yards. 2nd and 10.
Blitz.
Draw play to Atkins. Stopped short of the 45 by Reggie Kinlaw, 3rd-year man out of Oklahoma. Here it comes.
That was the 3-4. Leotis Martin doing a good job picking up the blitz.
Randy McClanahan was the Raider linebacker who was coming. If you just tuned in, boy, you've missed a ball game. The Packers are leading at 24-7 early in the 3rd quarter. And #1 draft choice Rich Campbell is at the controls. It's 3rd and 7. Is down at the 30-yard line in the arms of Bob Rozier, a 2nd-year man out of California, 6'3", 260. And the offensive line that was so tough for Lynn Dickey does not seem to have afforded Rich Campbell the same protection.
Well, they forced him out of the pocket. Got him on a couple blitzes so far. And it's really not his fault. It's just a breakdown and blocking.
Ken Watts is back to return the punt, and Ray Stackowitz, the 3rd-round draft choice from Michigan State, will kick the football.
And he's kicking with a good wind behind him, so he should get a hold of this. And if he kicks it good, he's gonna kick it over the defender's head. Nope, he missed it. But he got it to the side of him.
Ted Watts pushed out of bounds by Guy Prather at the 34-yard line. Halftime score, Los Angeles Rams 21, Dallas Cowboys 7. Paul, what's wrong with the Cowboys?
Well, you know, it's preseason. We'll talk about that when we come back from commercial.
34-yard punt for Ray Stackowitz. The Raiders take over, and #6 is a new quarterback for Oakland, 2nd-year man Mark Wilson out of Brigham Young.
Oh, and he could throw the football. He threw it well last week. NCAA leader a couple of years. Passed up by the Packers in last year's draft.
1st and 10 at the 34, and carrying the football up the middle is Frank Hawkins.
You know what the rumor is around the National Football League right now, Ken, is, you know, the Oakland Raiders have 3 quarterbacks on their roster. Whether or not they're going to carry Pastorini, Mark Wilson, and Plunkett. Los Angeles Rams, on the other hand, with Ferragamo gone to Canada, they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback to either replace Pat Hayden or back him up. A lot of people's speculation why Oakland doesn't get rid of a quarterback to the Rams. That would be ironic, wouldn't it?
Certainly would. And off to Hawkins up the middle, and he sprays to about the 44-yard line. Wingo off the bottom of the pile with Douglas.
I know Pastorini would love to get to L.A. if he had a shot to start. Pastorini would go anywhere if he could get a shot to start. Take a look at Wingo. There's your linebackers, Cumbie and Wingo, going for the football. And Mike Douglas makes the stop with help from Cumbie and Wingo.
Rich, 3rd-year guy out of Alabama. Third down and a yard. Penalty markers are down. Arthur Whittington has got the first down, wrapped up by Estes Hood. But check the penalty marker.
Well, Wingo got blocked well that time. Back coming out of the backfield just cut him in half.
How many of Bear Bryant's kids are in the pros now, do you figure?
There he goes.
75 is Rich Turner. He is the fourth-round draft choice, nose tackle candidate, and he's from Oklahoma. Oklahoma and Alabama really turn him out.
Offside defense, number 78. Holding offense, number 74. Offsetting penalties.
Casey Merrill called for the Packers, and Dave Pear. Well, he called 74 for the Raiders, but that's Dave Pear, and he's a defensive player.
Let's watch Wingo here. I think this is the play where he really gets upended. Look at this block. Great block by the back. Wingo just gets cut down.
Linebackers do have their ups and downs in this game, don't they? Third down and 1.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Whittington for the first down at the 45. Douglas with some help. Wingo off of the bottom. Looks like Bart's going pretty much with his first string defense here at the start of the second half. Does that surprise you?
Nope. They all need work. He's got a young football team. He doesn't have a luxury of having, 10 or 12, 15 kids on that defense that played 7 or 8, 10 years together. Most of your linebackers didn't play at all last year.
Rich Martini wide to the top of your screen, and Morris Bradshaw to the bottom, and this is Arthur Whittington. You ran into Mike Butler and a few buddies at about the 47. Detroit Lions have now taken the lead over the Cincinnati Bengals 13-9 in the third quarter. Tampa Bay losing to New England 17-16 in the third. Atlanta over the New York Jets 14-6. The Falcons have yet to win a preseason game. They're 0-2. And the Eagles have defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-20.
Guy's ankle's really swollen. Oh, that's a nice pass.
Whittington on the draw. Douglas had him around the ankles, and Wingo and Dewey McClain were riding his back. There's little Arthur Whittington. Guy can really move. Rushed for 229 yards in 1980, but he had to play behind Kenny King. His specialty is coming out of that backfield for the long pass. Third down and 3 for Oakland. Whittington. Whoa! Terry Jones had the first hit. And George Cumbie finished him off.
Well, I'll tell you, Terry Jones, that's the second time tonight he's really penetrated that offensive wall for Oakland. He's been in the backfield twice so quick it's unbelievable. You see him there. He gets into the slot. The guard tries to block down, and he just beats him to the hole. Good, quick move by Terry Jones. Disrupting the timing of the play.
So Whittington retires to the sideline. Johnny Gray and Freddie Nixon are deep, and Ray Guy is going to punt back in the 38. You notice Tom Flores doesn't bother to look at many other punters. He knows who his punter's going to be. Looking for the corner. Boy, and it looks like he got it again.
Got it about the 7-yard line. Stop, maybe.
Well, he's walking up a bit. On a 9.
9.
Timeout on the field. Packers 24, the Oakland Raiders 7.
Give that man a blue ribbon with the real taste of
Hey, what are you doing here? You didn't think you'd get rid of me that easy.
everything you searched for, 'cause it keeps on drinking easy.
I didn't think you'd make it back.
When the real taste of beer is all that's gonna make it, then there's only one thing
7 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Packers leading the defending Super Bowl champion Oakland Raiders 24-7. The Raiders, a team with 16 consecutive winning seasons, 9 division championships since 1967 alone. First and 10, and Rich Campbell still under center. The ball is on the 9-yard line. That's Harlan Huckleby, number 25, up over the 10 to the 11-yard line. Mario Salato with a tackle. It's our first look at Huckleby in the preseason. Harlan, a guy picked up last year. Of course, played his college ball at Michigan.
Fine running back. Michigan.
Pickup of about 2 or 3. Second down and call it a long 7.
Nobody's gained a lot of yards against that Oakland defense. Actually, Eddie Lee Ivory's got 15 yards and 5 carries. Damage has been upstairs.
Steve Atkins. Well, he puts the head down and gets up to the stripe at about the 15, where William Bowens, a first-year man out of North Alabama, made the tackle. Number 35 is a new man in the lineup, Pete Thompson. He's out of Carroll College in Wisconsin. As Bart slowly but surely starts to look at the reserves. 43 coming into the huddle is Cal Perkins, trying to make this ball club as a wide receiver. But look at that starting offensive line. The number 1 unit still in there to protect Rich Campbell. Third down and 4. And a whistle stops the play.
It might be too much time.
Clock on the side of the field has already run out, so apparently Green Bay will swallow 5 for delay of game. So that'll bring up a third down and 9 situation back on the 9-yard line. Paul, do you take a chance back here and put the ball up, or do you play it nice and cozy?
Well, the play came in from the sideline. You might see a sweep here, or... But the wind is definitely at Rich Campbell's back. He's got the good arm. I'd let him throw it. But the wind is a favorable wind behind him.
It is not a safety, apparently.
It's close.
It is being marked at about the 1/2-yard line. Howard Long, a rookie from Villanova, made the sack.
And they're very high on this Howard Long, number 75. You watch him on the sack. Here's Rich Campbell. Now it is not a safety. He's a good call by the referee. It's very close, but his forward progress is at the 1/2-yard line.
So here's a test for Ray Stakowitz, who's backed up against his own goal line. Ira Matthews to return the kick.
I don't think the blocker's in there. I don't see Hendricks.
Look at Stakowitz backed up on that goal line.
Well, let's see. He could get off a good one here. He's got the wind at his back. If he just gets it off, he could well kick it over this guy's head.
He got it away. Matthews at the 39. Well, the Raiders have about as good a field position as you could ask for around the Green Bay 27-yard line.
38-yard punt. Now, see, that's the value of a Ray Guy. Now, Ray Guy, probably in this situation, here it is. He's trying to get it off Stakowitz, almost blocked. And, of course, he went through his acting routine a little bit early.
Mario Salato was the guy that almost got a hand on a football, and Larry Coombs is the guy who made the tackle on Ira Matthews.
But I'm saying the value of a Ray Guy there with the wind there, he probably would have hit that thing about 65, 70 yards.
So it's first and 10 Raiders. They're on the Green Bay 26. A sweep to the side. And Kenny Hill is out of bounds around the 20-yard line. Let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
Packers have a new free safety in there right now. It's their 7th-round draft choice, Bill Whitaker. Surprisingly, Bart Starr hung with Mark Murphy pretty much in the first half. So Whitaker is the free safety right now. We'll have to keep our eye on him. Back up to you, Ken.
Bill out of the University of Missouri. Gain of about 8 yards by Kenny Hill. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Morris Bradshaw wide to the bottom of your screen, and Rich Martini to the top. Raiders trailing 24-7, 5:36 to play in the 3rd quarter. Hill again. Penalty markers are down, and Hill is all the way to the 9-yard line. Mike Butler on the tackle for the Pack. Holding against Oakland is the preliminary indication.
Kenny Hill, a rookie running back from Yale. Pretty good, 6 foot, 190 pounds.
27 is Whitaker.
Another Hill is pretty good running back out of Yale, Calvin Hill.
Calvin's not still in the game, though, is he?
Sure, he's with Cleveland.
Still hanging on with the field.
Sure.
Holding number 71 offense.
That was Lindsey Mason, tackle, caught for holding on Oakland.
Just seems as though all of the penalties and the crucial calls have gone the Packers' way tonight.
Oakland's had 8 penalties for 45 yards.
2nd down now and about
Here comes the blitz.
13.
They just lining up in it there. There's about a 6-man line. They're coming at Mark Wilson. Good pickup.
In the corner, Martini.
Out of bounds. Little lady said, "What was that?" That was out of bounds, darling.
Rich Martini, 6'2", a 3rd-year man out of California, Davis. And Mike McCoy was one-on-one with him out there. And when you bring that many people and you don't get to the quarterback, it's got to be a little lonely to play the corner out there.
That's right.
It is 3rd down and 13 for Oakland. Wilson got the time.
Look at that catch.
And a beautiful catch by Derek Ramsey on about the 15 or 16-yard line, close to a 1st down. Cumbie on the tackle. And Mark Wilson's getting all kinds of good time here.
This is a tight end. This was a quarterback and a running quarterback at the University of Kentucky. They switched him to tight end. He's 6'4", 235 pounds, and he's a great runner. And he's got a good pair of hands, and they say this kid's going to be a great tight end one day. I'll tell you one thing, I watched him run. He run that split T, run the option, and he gained over 1,000 yards running the football. So this kid could be a dangerous tight end in years to come.
Good for a 1st down on the Packers' 16-yard line. Wilson's going to run with it. Whoa!
Let's see how they rule this.
Rich
Got a
Moore
fumble?
is the guy that fell on it.
I'll tell you, this Packer defense is just so aggressive. It's going to be Packer football. It's ruled a fumble. Now let's check it out again. The referees want to be sure here.
Randy Scott must have thought it was an incompleted pass because he let the ball go.
That's what's in question right now, whether his arm was going forward.
Watch number 94, Randy Scott. I think that he believes it's an incomplete pass.
Watch Wilson now. He steps up into the pocket around the blitz. He gets hit from behind. That is a fumble, folks. His arm was not going forward.
Now look at Scott. He gives up on it.
He gives up on it. He thought it was an incomplete pass. And very alertly, the Packers get the football back. This should have been ruled a fumble. They're going to rule that his arm was going forward, but it was not in my judgment.
So they're going to rule it was a pass.
They're going to rule a penalty also. Roughing the quarterback.
Holding defense number 51 on a running play. 1st down.
Holding number 51 on the running play.
Call that against Jim Gano. Paul, I don't quite understand this.
Well, you're going to have to watch. There was a flag down. Let's see if we can pick up where the flag was. Well, you don't see Gano at all. He's not even in the picture right now.
That looked like a fumble to me.
That was definitely a fumble, but there was defensive holding on the play.
Around the corner and to the 7-yard line is Kenny Hill. So that's a big, big turnaround. Puts the Raiders right back in scoring situation.
Kind of looks like we may have a repeat of last week, where the Packers put all their points on the board and then held on in the second half for a 21-17 win.
Second down. And about 6 for the first down, 7 for the touchdown. Up the middle, Derek Jensen with a 3 or so. Some of the fans at County Stadium eating some of that bratwurst that Paul Hornung wants.
Oh, I love it. Shriners had a big night.
We've got
Another very successful promotion. Boy, they raised a lot of money for charity. I think it's over $1 million that's been raised in this game.
Ball is on a 2-yard line, and she will watch with you as it's third down. And a miscue on the snap. It'll be fourth down.
Center snapped a little bit too early.
I'm amazed anybody could hear Mark Wilson with the racket that the crowd was making.
The offense is in bad trouble when the center forgets the snap. I'll tell you that.
Watch the replay.
It looked like it was all right. The two guards were moving in unison with the center then. Just quarterback wasn't ready.
So now we've got a fourth down from the 2-yard line. And the Raiders are going for it. Now they need just 1 yard for the first down, keep in mind. And 2 yards for the touchdown.
They might sneak it again. I think they had the sneak called last time. Nope.
They're going
no way.
To Jensen, and I don't think he made it.
Cumby. George Cumby. Place is going crazy. All right. Watch George Cumby. Everybody's coming. 94 does a great job.
That's
and
Randy
it's George
Scott.
Cumby on the stop, but 94, Randy Scott was right there.
Timeout. 24-7 Packers. Packers have done just about everything you would ask them to do in a ball game like this. They've thrown the long bomb for the touchdown. They've run back an interception for a touchdown. They've come up with a magnificent goal line stand on defense. What more could you ask for?
For the game to be over and the Packers to win 2 in a row. That'd be a perfect night. I think you're going to see it.
Rich Campbell, a quarterback, 1st and 10 on the 3.
Let's see if he... there it comes. Play action right here.
Lofton.
The
50-yard
pitch
for the Raiders was Ted Watts, the rookie.
The ball was right there, just a little bit underthrown. He had the wind at his back. 55 yards in the air that time. And Lofton, hoping to get single coverage back there. He was going to Lofton all the way. You watch, Lofton's got these men beaten easily. Ball was just a little bit underthrown. It was catchable. It was right there. He should have had that one. But a little bit longer, if he would have let him a little bit more, he could have caught it in stride, and Pal, that would have been 98 yards for 6.
2nd down and 10 from the 3. Goes to Atkins. Penalty marker down. Atkins meets the ground at about the 7, and Randy McClanahan on the tackle. Boy, they're having a good time at County Stadium tonight.
They do here. They have the cookout. Tailgate parties were going in full swing. We arrived tonight a couple hours before game time. Nothing like the tailgate parties in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Unmatched.
Kind of funny. You go down south and parking lots are empty an hour before the game.
They don't know what a good time they're missing.
Third down.
Holding penalty against the Packers is declined. Ball on the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 or 7. Tough call here. They go to Huckabee. First down at the 16-yard line.
You hadn't seen that too often in years past. Packers backed up against their own end zone, throw a pass on first down, and then just gut it up and jam the football down the defense's throat. This is Huckabee. Harris in front. Very good cut by Huckabee. Back up inside. Harris gets a piece of the defense, and then you see a fine cut here by Harlan Huckabee for the first down.
Harlan Huckabee carried the ball only 6 times last year, caught 3 passes, played in the Canadian Football League one season. First and 10, Packers on their own 16. Rich Campbell has been the quarterback since the middle of the second quarter. Huckabee again.
All right.
Boy, he's running.
It's a quick 6. Leotis Harris doing a fine job up front.
Willie Jones on the tackle for the Raiders.
See that offensive line. You got Greg Cook, Leotis Harris, McCarron. Swanke playing for Darrell Goforth. Darrell, one of the steadiest guards. You don't have to worry about him. When the bell rings, he'll be there.
Swanke's looked very good, though. It's been one of the real pleasant surprises of summer camp. Second down, about 3.
Look at Huckabee. He runs hard.
Charges for a first down to the 31-yard line. Let's go down to Joe Schmidt on the field.
Again, the people at home can see the replay on most of the big plays, but the Packers can also see the replay, too, on the big scoreboard here. And it's pretty interesting. Like when Huckabee picked up that big first down, all the Packers had their heads turned towards the scoreboard, so they're taking a look at that plays as they go on the replay, too. Back up to the booth.
And right over your shoulder there, Joe, we saw the replay of Huckabee going for the first down.
The Packers' leader rusher, Ken, he's got 27 yards and 4 carries.
Ball on the 30-yard line.
7-yard average.
Steve Atkins.
Look at this.
47-yard line. Tackle by Otis McKinney. And watch the hole open up for the third-year man from Maryland.
They were king Huckabee that time. Atkins on a big hole on the inside. Linebacker on the right side for Oakland went to the outside. Atkins cut back in. Or the first down, picked up about 11 or 12. Once again, good blocking by Swanke up. He got a piece of his man, controlled him.
First and 10, the Packers on their own 46. They started this drive on their own 2-yard line. Atkins.
Again, picked up 12. Same play to the other side. And Campbell doesn't have to do too much now. All he has to do is keep the ball on the ground the way the offensive line's blocking. This is when it becomes fun for the offensive line, boys. They're starting to enjoy the block now. And the runners love it. Good hole. He broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage here. Good balance by Steve Atkins. Picked up 12.
And they're doing this against the Oakland Raiders, folks.
Atkins got 41 yards and 7 carries.
And that is the end of the third quarter, and Bart Starr's got something to clap his hands about. Green Bay 24, Oakland 7. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this.
Meet the professor.
It is brought to you by Leskey's Liquor Locker.
1980. In overtime against the Chicago Bears, place kicker Chester Marco picked up his own block kick and ran a Packer sweep that would have made Lombardi proud. Marco's 25-yard touchdown gave Green Bay an opening day 12-6 upset victory.
Leskey's Liquor Locker, Monona Drive near the Beltline. One of the best selections.
Part of the crowd of around 50,000 at Milwaukee County Stadium. That's the press box, which is normally behind home plate for baseball here at the stadium. Brewers, of course, on the road up in Toronto. And Bart Starr's got his team in a high gear. Packers with the ball on the Oakland 42-yard line, and the handoff to Huckabee to the 40. Joe Campbell on the tackle for the Raiders.
And this drive is, I should say, sustained drive also. What, started at the 2-yard line. All the yards have been on the ground.
Boy, the crowd here really wanted that long pass to Lofton.
Right.
They really wanted it.
He's already picked up over 100 yards again. He's got 5 receptions tonight for 142 yards.
Freddie Nixon and Pete Thompson are the wide receivers now on 2nd and 10. There's a smart quarterback. There's one lesson that Rich Campbell has learned real fast. He went down at the 36-yard line, picked up a nice little gain.
Ground level here. It seems like every time this kid goes back to pass, he really gets the heat. Pressure's on. Oakland's trying to get that football back. He steps up into the pocket, saves about a 9-yard loss, and turns it into about a 4-yard gain. So for the quarterback, it's 13-yard pickup. Right? Take another look.
Brings up a 3rd down and about 5.
Hit your back. He's open.
Almost intercepted.
Again.
By Joe Campbell.
I tell you, they really rushed it.
And Jan Stenerud is in the ball game, number 10. Apparently for a long field goal attempt.
And he's kicking against a good wind, too. Be surprising if he makes this.
Stagowitz is going to hold. They'll spot the ball on the 43, which makes it a 53-yard field goal attempt for the soccer styler from Norway.
Yeah, but he's kicking against a tough wind. If he makes this, he makes the club.
Good.
Mark's got his kicker.
I don't believe it.
Zoomed it through. Kept it low.
I don't believe it.
That's 54 yards against a good wind. Watch this. He kicks it low. He kicks it low. Just zoomed it right through the middle.
54 yards. 27-7 Green Bay, and we'll be back. With a 54-yard field goal against the wind. 27-7. A line shot. It'll come out to the 20. Calvin Muhammad wanted no part of it. And the Packers have just got to be enjoying one of their most solid preseason games that I can recall since I started doing the games back in '79. You've been watching them a long time since then.
I'll say so. I'll tell you, this is 2 great back-to-back football games they played. And Jan, Jan, baby, I think just made the club.
Today at lunchtime, he set 15 straight out.
Roddy Savage kicked the first half. Roddy didn't kick all that bad, but it's kind of hard to argue with a 54-yarder. Mark Wilson at quarterback on 1st down. Out in the flat, that's Todd Christensen at the 27-yard line. Tackled by Randy Scott.
I'll say one thing. You would look at the pass protection, you'd think Oakland was winning here. They get all the time in the world to throw the football. Campbell doesn't get any time to throw it. The Packers still lead by 3 touchdowns, 27-7.
Todd Christensen was a free agent with his team, signed on 2 years ago and made the club. He's played in 28 consecutive games, but hasn't done much, and everything went wrong there.
Quarterback didn't get the football.
False start, number 71 offense.
Call it on Lindsey Mason.
It'll be a long trip back for Oakland on that plane. That's the thing the players hate the most, you know, when you, especially in the preseason or even in regular season.
False start, number 71 offense.
After a loss, you got to get on that airplane. The preseason, it's a all-night flight almost all the way back, 4 hours back to Oakland. They'll get on the plane about 12 o'clock.
Packers have had a few of those flights in recent years.
I'll imagine.
2nd down and 7. Over the middle to Frank Hawkins. bounced out of bounds around the 33-yard line. Paul Rudzinski was the guy who bumped him out. Watch it again.
Frank Hawkins has been impressive in the preseason for him. He's a rookie from Las Vegas, Reno. They just crossed their backs coming out of the backfield, a little crisscross action. Rudzinski there. And this Hawkins got good balance, good strength in his legs.
He was their 10th round pick. Rushed for over 5,000 yards at Arizona. First and 10. Count out in the flat by Barnwell at the 41-yard line. And free agent Charles Cornelius was back there on the tackle. Packers with a rather strange-looking defensive secondary right now. Charles Cornelius is in there. Number 46, Scott Perry, whom they picked up from the 49ers, is in there. Wiley Turner, Frank Reed, and Mark Lee. Totally second-string secondary. First and 10 play. Here comes a new number in that backfield. And that is number 38, Chester Willis, a rookie out of Auburn. He is their 11th round draft choice. Let's go down on the field to Joe Schmidt.
First of all, two things. Ken, the wind has really picked up here down in the field, and Mike Mancuso and Nicky Hall are warming up, and they'll probably see some action at the Packer quarterback spot. Back up to you.
Second down and 1. Whoa!
That's Terry Jones again. Nope. Yes, it is. Number 63, Terry Jones.
Frank Hawkins carried the ball, but he sure didn't see much daylight on that one.
Jones has been in the backfield 3 times very quickly tonight.
So you've got a third down now, about 3 yards to go. We're down to 10:45 to play in the game. Byron Braggs. Jones in the middle. 74 is Rich Moore. 3rd and 3. Caught, and it'll be a first down to Hawkins. Covered quickly by Paul Rudzinski. He's got an ISO on Terry Jones.
A little stunt coming on. Tackle comes on the inside. Nose guard comes to the outside. Oakland picks it up.
First and 10 Raiders. They're on the Packer 43. And it's a night for smiling at County Stadium. Caught in the flat. And down immediately is Chester Willis. Rudzinski wrapped him up. Willis played cornerback on defense and wide receiver in college at Auburn before they finally decided running back was his spot.
From the end zone, maybe. Willis out of the backfield. Good tackle by Rudzinski.
A couple of reserve linebacker spots open on this ball club, and Rudd wants to be there. Second down and about 3. Wilson floats it out to Barnwell at the 28-yard line.
Ooh, what a great pitch that was. He was really covered. Had to be a perfect strike, and he just laid it over the linebacker's hands.
Wiley Turner was the guy that bumped him out.
Unnecessary roughness. Going to be 15 more.
Well, it looks like Mark Wilson is now settling down a little bit.
Yeah, this is a great pitch. You'll see Wilson come back, set up a little sideline pattern to the left side. Good timing here. Right over the linebacker. Looked like he was out of bounds. A little unnecessary there. He was going to be stepping out. He didn't have to pick it. That
takes the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Personal foul after the dead ball. Number 20 on the defensive team. First down.
Wiley Turner over there.
Talking about Mark Wilson, as you mentioned earlier, Paul, Mark Wilson is the guy the Packers had a chance to draft 2 years ago and passed him up in favor of Bruce Clark, who has not played it down for them.
He's just getting ready up to Canada for the first couple of years, then he'll be back. So
First and 10. Touchdown, Barnwell, penalty marker down.
Barnwell is going to be a fine receiver in the National Football League. Wilson to Barnwell was hot last week. This kid almost looks like Cliff Branch, doesn't he?
Got those rangy moves.
Good pair of hands. Going to have an interference call. Of course, they'll decline. It's going to be 6 for Oakland. Good pitch by Mark Wilson. He can throw the football right on target.
Wiley Turner let him have it again. Malcolm Barnwell was hurt in the preseason last year and spent all of last year on injured reserve. Bob Chandler will hold for Chris Barr. And it's good. So it's now Green Bay 27, Oakland 14. And we'll be back after this. Everybody deserves a little credit, I guess.
I want everybody along Highway 41 to come out, and the buses go by, wave some flags out. They'll be coming by about 1 o'clock, about 12:30.
Lansford kicks off to Mark Lee on the 18. And Lee up to around the 29. Moser on the tackle for the Raiders. Eric Torkelson is in the Packer backfield, number 26. First look we've had of him in the preseason, and Bart is going to stay with Rich Campbell at quarterback. There's the Shriners. This is their night in Milwaukee.
Final now, New England beat Tampa Bay 17-16.
Campbell has been the quarterback since the middle of the second quarter. Gary Ellis, the starting fullback, back in the lineup. Look at that.
How about that? I tell you, that inside plays work. We saw Steve Atkins on the last series of play run about 3 plays like that, pick up about 30 yards, and now Gary Ellis comes through, picks up 13. And that means that offensive line is doing a job. A little cross-blocking up front. And Gary Ellis gets the first down.
There was some doubt as to whether Ellis would play tonight. He's had a back injury that's been bothering him in practice.
Packers over 120 yards rushing.
First and 10 on their own 42. There's Torkelson. A couple of tough yards. Eric Torkelson is a guy that always seems to fit into this ball club somehow. 66 for the Packers. I don't have, 66 is Forrest Valora.
Oh, no, it's Ray Nitschke.
We do need to get you an updated roster.
Oh, that's right. Forrest who?
Forrest Valora. He was their 11th round draft choice, a linebacker, and he had knee surgery. He's out for the year. Gary Ellis, there he goes. To the 32-yard line before John Enslow finally bumped him out. But the second-year man from Missouri wants to have some fun with the other guys.
And the Packers are rolling, folks. Again, it's the same play on the inside. Right tackle and the guard is just doing an outstanding job. Especially on this play. Nobody even touched him. He gets down the sidelines. He picked up another 18 yards.
Gave Enslow a nice little stiff arm in the face, too. Here it comes again. Watch the stiff arm he gives Enslow here.
He's got 56 yards and 6 carries.
Whoa. That brings up an interesting question, Paul. Can the ball carrier be called for grabbing the face mask?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
In fact, there's a penalty right now.
It is.
The offensive player, number 31, the ball carrier, after the ball was out of bounds, it will be...
Did he answer your question for you?
He sure did.
Gary Ellis called for offensive face mask.
How many times have you seen that penalty call?
I've seen it once or twice. Oh, yeah. I tell you, it happens a lot in the offensive linemen.
Watch it again.
See if we can pick it up. Now watch your left hand. Yeah, he's got a hold of it.
This is live action. Eric Torkelson.
Good hard running. say, the Packers have really just stuffed it down their throat. And I have not seen this in a long, long time. Bart hasn't either running the football this well. They're just stuffing it down Oakland's throat.
Seventh-year man from Connecticut. Timeout on the field. We'll check out that injury when we come back. 27-14 Packers. Gary Ellis offensively grabbing the face mask of John Anslow. A very unusual call. During that timeout, offensive tackle Greg Cook limped off of the field, and Joe Schmidt is checking out his injury situation right now. And the fans at County Stadium strike up the Go Pack Go cheer, and boy, they had a good time tonight. Next week, the crowd won't be so friendly. We'll be at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Packers and the Broncos, everybody on the Packer preseason network will see it live. First and 10, Green Bay on the Oakland 22. Torkelson.
Look at that block. That's unreal. There's another flag. I'm going to tell you, I have, well, we've been doing the Packers preseason 4 or 5 years. I haven't seen holes, just gaping holes like this in a long, long time. That offensive line is just having a great time out there tonight.
Play is apparently coming back.
Watch your right side. Look at the tight end blocks down, and look at that hole.
Number 70 is Steve Chambers.
Beautiful blocking. Tarkiston, they're going to probably call it back. Looks like the Packers are coming back. Another end zone look.
Chambers is a free agent tackle out of Arizona State.
Number 81 offense. Personal foul, dead ball foul. Number 52 defense. Offsetting penalties. First down.
First down.
Gary Lewis got called for holding for the Packers, and Mario Salato got the Raider penalty. So you bring it back to the 21, make it first and 10 all over again, and Eric Torkelson loses a fine run. We're number
Keep it
1.
on the ground. Eat up that clock.
Torque. Not this time. To about the 19, and Carl Haberstroh, a rookie out of Washington, made the tackle. There's the Queen, the Shrine Queen. Queen Renee from Green Bay Southwest, and I think she's in safe hands for the evening. I think those are safe hands.
I was going to say, how do you know anything about what? Oh, I forgot. You work around Green Bay.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe she knows more about that situation. I don't know. Second down and 8. Well, that's Atkins. Out of bounds around the 15. I don't know if that was a broken play or not. It looked a little strange.
There's a little delay, whatever it was. So, delay.
Watch it again here.
Oh, it was just a little messed up. It was a set right, draw left, and he sat a little bit too far right. Got a face mask there, too, they missed.
Steve Atkins has carried the ball 8 times for 44 yards. Leading ground gainer is Gary Ellis, 6 carries for 56 so far for the Packers.
Got 200 yards yet, close to it, 100, 145, 150, 182 yards rushing tonight. They got over 300 yards in offense.
Third down and about 4.
When was the last time the Packers rushed for 200 yards?
Well, they had a big rushing game against the Vikings last year. I remember that.
That figures so.
Campbell to Huckabee. First and goal, Green Bay. Ted Watts made the tackle.
A little play action pass, pretty good fake, good pickup, and Campbell does well to get on the outside of the rush, the good arm. You showed me something there, folks. Good fake, held his poise, complete to Huckabee. First down, inside the 10. Ball spotted about the 6.
Rich is 4 out of 11.
Yeah, he's really been rushed tonight.
There's Gangrene.
Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Holy mackerel. That's Green Bay's answer to the Dallas Cowgirls, right?
In the flat, Atkins, no. Short of the goal line. Gangrene showing you just how short right there.
Oh, pass.
Ted Watts let Steve Atkins have it out on the flat. Watch the hit here.
Same pass play. Said, Campbell says, you're going to give it to me all night. I'll come right back to it.
Boom.
Good pop.
It's on a 1-yard line. Second down and goal.
Well, they've had the football a long time, haven't they? Good series.
Torkelson. Touchdown.
And it's placed on his feet. Eric Torkelson goes over from the 1-yard line. Very nice sustained drive put on here by the Green Bay Packers to put the game out of reach.
What's
there
the
it
hole?
is. Good blocking up by Torkelson, just finding his way. Cutting back a little bit. He squeezes in. 30 points on the board against the world champion Oakland Raiders.
Jan Stenerud for the point after. Ray Stakowicz to hold. Stenerud has already hit a 54-yard field goal, so this one ought to be a bit of a chip shot. He hit it. Green Bay 34, Oakland 14.
Oh, let's stay right here a minute if we can. They got some hot Oakland Raiders out there, folks. Little tempers flaring now, but they cool it out. Joe Campbell.
Penalty markers down.
Who took the first swing usually gets away with it. Guy who retaliates usually gets the penalty.
Look at that scoreboard. 34 to 14. Can you believe it?
Sure can.
The extra point is good. We have a dead ball foul. Personal foul number 75 on the defense. Personal foul number 54 on the offense. Offsetting penalty.
Can't do nothing about it. Just offsetting every time.
That was Larry McCarron again. Larry's normally a mild-mannered guy.
Well, see what happens. McCarron is at the mercy of the Oakland Raider. He's centering the football. You know, you could almost kill a center on those extra points and field goals. He's got to center the football. He's got his head down. And as soon as he moves the football, everybody comes in and almost kills him.
We'll be right back. 34 to 14. Chester Willis at the 4-yard line. Up to about the 29. Let's go down to Joe Schmidt on the field.
Ken, I think the Green Bay Packers accomplished exactly what they were trying to do today. They got to look at a lot of young ball players because the Packers have to cut over 20 ball players Tuesday. So while the Packers are doing good and there's going to be a lot of joy in the locker rooms tonight because they won, a lot of players have to wonder if they'll be around after Tuesday. Back up to you guys.
Well, there'll be a lot of apprehension on that bus going back. I was saying, wonder if I did well enough to stay another week.
22 players have to get the X by
the
Tuesday.
Turk gets active next week, as they say. You know who the Turk is, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Who is he? I don't know who he is.
Well, he never had a name.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Mark Wilson on first down. Hits the short man over the middle. Guy Prather on the tackle at the 34-yard line. Number 38, Chester Wills.
End zone shot. Mark Wilson going all the way. We thought we'd see Pastorini tonight. Look at this pass protection. A little shot over the middle. Packers will give him that all night. Clock still ticking. Under 5.
Second down and about 3.
Complete this.
Wilson zips it in to Calvin Mohammed at the Packer 49-yard line.
Good catch.
Charles Cornelius, the rookie free agent cornerback, on the tackle.
Boy, this was a fine catch here. You see the back coming out of the backfield. He's open too, but Wilson's got to come up inside. Now watch this catch. Yes, sir.
It's a completely reserved Packer defense with the exception of Johnny Gray right now. Wilson. He's got some room.
He'll step out.
At about the 42 or 3 yard line. How would you assess Mark Wilson's play tonight?
Oh, I think he's a fine quarterback. Got a nice release. Throws the ball well. He's got that nice soft touch. He can drill it. Could be a fine quarterback. Plunkett impressed me also. He has a tendency also to throw the ball when he shouldn't a lot of times. I mean, he got away with it last year. A lot of times he threw the ball up for grabs and it was caught by the right people. I don't know if he can keep doing it consistently in this league.
Second down and about 4. Right through the arms of Chester Wills. Well, Plunkett got burned doing that tonight. 60-yard interception return for a touchdown by Mark Lee. Watch Chester Wills have trouble finding the handle on this pass.
There they go the backs. The backs, they crisscross the backs coming out of the backfield.
93 on defense is Larry Wirtz. He is the Packers' 8th round draft choice. I should say that's Cliff Lewis, the number 12 draft choice from Southern Mississippi. Wirtz is 91, also a linebacker.
Blitz.
Cliff Lewis.
Cliff Lewis was right there. Nobody touched him. Down level shot. This is where the quarterback always has got to be a little bit wary from his blind side. This is for a right-hander. He was wary of the blitz that time. He saw it.
Lewis, the last player taken in the draft from Southern Miss. Last player taken by the Packers, I should clarify. Freddie Nixon, the deep man, Johnny Gray, the short man, and Ray Guy. They don't look at any free agent punters in Oakland. Guy's done all the punting tonight for the Raiders. Down to 3:37 to play in the football game, and the Packers have it wrapped up. That was a great punt.
Sails it up there. Wasn't too good a punt. Flag is down.
It gets it a mile high, and I think we're going to get somebody downfield too quickly for the Raiders.
Hate flags. I mean the yellow flags, not the flag, but penalty flags. Wonder what kind of a game it'd be if they didn't have referees.
Chicago Bears are now losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, 13-0 in the third quarter.
Downfield, number 57, kicking team. Penalty declined. First down.
Randy McClanahan was down a little too soon. Bears haven't been very impressive in the preseason.
Packers open up with the Bears, don't they?
Yes, sir. In Chicago.
In Chicago.
3:27 left. You never did comment on the Cowboys seeming to have their problems.
No, well, this is just the preseason. They're playing a lot of people, and they'll be there when the season starts. Don't worry about them. They got too much talent. The Rams, on the other hand, need a quarterback.
First and 10 on the 26. There goes Torkelson. Every year, everybody counts Eric Torkelson out. Every year, he's on the roster.
He's a hustler.
1979, he had his best year when something like 5 or 6 Packer running backs all went down. Atkins, Ivory, Middleton, and more. Dependable utility man to have back there. We're under the 3-minute mark in the ball game. Second down and about 9. Quarterback for the Packers is Mike Mancuso, seeing his first action of the preseason, and Huckabee carried the football for a short gain. Mancuso spent some time on the Dallas Cowboys roster as the number 3 quarterback behind Roger Staubach and Danny White. Then a guy by the name of Gary Hogeboom beat him out for the number 3 spot. The Cowboys released him. There's a little fan support from Mark Murphy, who was thrust into the starting free safety spot.
2 minutes.
2-minute warning at County Stadium. Mancuso goes over to the sidelines to talk with Bart and Zeke. And we'll be back to score the Packers 34 and the Raiders 14. 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Packers looking at their 3rd quarterback. We did not see David Whitehurst tonight, nor did we see Nicky Hall, the 10th round draft choice from Tulane. What does that sign say? Paul Horning says, "Rock on Packers." And they spelled your name wrong, Paul.
Maybe they didn't. Little in-joke there, Ken. Sometimes I'll tell you about it.
I am not touching that one. No way. 3rd down and 7. Mike Mancuso, the quarterback. Huckabee.
We don't hold it out there.
Very little future in that play. 4th down, Ray Stakowitz will come in to punt. Harlan Huckabee's had himself a pretty fair evening.
Yeah. Packer rushing game, boy. I tell you, they've got over 180 yards rushing. And Lynn Dickey again did the job in the first half throwing the football. He was perfect 5 out of 5 for 143 yards. 65-yard bomb to Lofton. I tell you, bright spots both offensively and defensively again for the Packers.
Talking about Huckabee, 7 carries for 38 yards for Huck. Minute 45 to play in the game. New Orleans Saints defeated the Houston Oilers 27-7, and Bum Phillips gets his revenge.
Nah, he don't care.
Oh, come on now.
Nah.
Bum wanted to win that game in the worst way.
Sure, he wanted to win, but not in the worst way. They don't really. You know, he's so happy he's got them winning. That's the main thing.
I got a feeling there was a little extra on the line.
Oh, there might be
Houston
a little extra. Not in the worst way in the preseason. If you lose, you don't feel that.
Stakowitz back on his own 17. Clock down to 2 seconds. And on the 27-yard line, this is Ted Watts. Out of bounds at the 34, tackled by Guy Prather, free agent linebacker. .38-yard punt by Stakowitz.
Not too good a punt. He didn't look too good here. Hope the camera stays on him here. Watch this. I don't know. He just looked a little awkward there with his style. Wasn't smooth. He really hasn't caught one yet, has he? He turned the end over on it. And he punts without all that rush in the warm-up. He really kicks it high and well and spirals it. But in the game, it looks a little different.
Quarterback is still Mark Wilson. He's gone all the way. Flare pass to Hawkins. And the Packers at this point are going to let Oakland have all of those that they want. Kurt Alleman on the tackle. Clock rolling. We're at 1:20. Raiders going without a huddle. Packers leading it by 20 points. Over the middle, caught by Christensen at the Packer 41-yard line. Tackle by Cliff Lewis. And here comes play number 3 without a huddle. Clock down to 1 minute and rolling. Delay over the middle. And that ball is caught by Chester Wills. We're down to 42 seconds and play number 4 without a huddle coming up. How many can they call, Paul?
Well, they should be automatic. We never used to have it to make. They're calling a play out there. He's calling it to his receivers. Now he's going to throw it for the home run, stop the clock. But we could go up and down the field with Bart with just an automatic, depending on where the hash mark was. automatic play every time. Never needed a huddle.
Miami Dolphins beat Denver 24-14 tonight. Packers play the Broncos in Denver next week. Broncos will be 0-2. Packers will be 2-0. We have a 3rd down and 3 situation for the Raiders with 28 seconds to play in the football game. Wilson, he finds Barnwell down at the 10-yard line, coughs up the ball, and there's Scott Perry, but they called it dead.
Barnwell's still down.
Part of the crowd is some 50,000 at County Stadium. Not too happy with that call, and Malcolm Barnwell is hurt. We're down to 14 seconds to play in the football game.
Pretty impressive here for Mark Wilson, moving his football team this far. Never huddling, just keeping his wide receivers informed of the pattern. He's crossed his backs every time on the coming out of the backfield, just that little A and B circle deal where they circle over the middle. And he's gone deep on a couple of times.
Wilson has put the ball up 22
right.
times. 22 times, 14 completions for 156 yards. 1 touchdown. Lost 12 yards attempting to pass. There's Tom Flores. I imagine Tom is too enthralled with this ball game.
Nope. Be a long trip back. How many cuts coming up Tuesday? Joe said 20.
22 players have to get the ads. First down, ball just outside of the 10-yard line. Intended for Christensen and Scott Perry defending along with Cabral. We're down to 9 seconds in the game. It'll be 2nd and 10 from just outside the 10. Run some quick stats by you while we can here. Lynn Dickey played a quarter and a half, 5 out of 5 for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. Rich Campbell, 5 out of 12 for 48 yards. Leading rusher